The Cubs' days in sunny Arizona this spring training are winding down. And with exactly 1 week remaining until opening day, the heat is on Lou Piniella to decide on his 08 Cubs roster. Put his everyday lineup down in ink and get ready when it's time to play ball next Monday with a clean slate. Cubs legend Ron Santo joins our Comcast Sportsnet broadcast next from Mesa. It is another gorgeous afternoon for Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. We are at Ho-Ho-Com Park in Mesa. The Cubs taking on the Texas Rangers today. We are just 1 week away from the opener on March 31st in Chicago, and everybody's walking up to the radio booth wondering where Ron Santo is. Well, we have the Cubs legend in our television booth today as he fills in for Bob Brenly. Hi, everyone. I'm Len Casper. Decisions made today by Lou Piniella. We'll get into them as we move along, but as we bring Ron into the broadcast, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And when you look at the Cubs rotation, there were good problems and very tough decisions to make this year.
Yeah, very tough decisions to make, and especially for that fifth starter. The rotation is very deep, and of course, Marquis really had a good spring along with Lieber, but evidently he's going to be the fifth starter. Lieber's going to go to the bullpen, but I think we're deeper than that. You know, we got a couple other starters, and so if there is any injuries, I feel very strongly that we can cover them.
And today's starter for the Cubs, Ryan Dempster, will take the number 3 spot behind Carlos Zambrano and Ted Lilly. Ron, you have to feel great for Kerry Wood. He is the Cubs closer.
Well, I said this yesterday on the radio that I saw him when he struck out 20 Houston Astros, and last year he just kept getting better and better. And mainly the velocity is right back to where it was before, and he's very confident. I mean, I can see that from the booth. It's like I'm not worried about any injuries. I'm just going to throw that fastball, get the breaking ball over, and he's just done a marvelous job. 2 back-to-back days, and now he's going to be the closer.
Ready to do some TV today?
I'm ready to do some TV. It's real nice working with you,
All right.
big boy.
You look great. We're ready to go. Ryan Dempster against left-hander Kason Gabbard of the Texas Rangers. Should be another huge crowd. The Cubs always draw well in Arizona. Rangers and Cubs coming up next.
Is the time. Here is the place. And this is the truck. Chevy Silverado Halftime. The full-size pickup available with best-in-class fuel economy. Well-qualified buyers. Get yours with 0% APR financing for 60 months. Shop Chevy now. Log on now to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today.
Show us you embody Chicago sports, and you could win a luxury 3-night trip to Rio Vallarta and Riviera Nayarit, Mexico. Presenting the fans' best friend getaway. Brought to you by Apple Vacations, America's favorite vacation company. All you have to do is send a picture to Apple Vacations at ComcastSportsNet.com, depicting why you are Comcast Sportsnet's best friend. It's that easy. Send a picture and you could win. Don't miss out. Enter the fans' best friend getaway. Only from Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Where do you get your Chicago sports news?
Level 1, local nightly news. You only get a few minutes. Level 2, National Sports Network. You might not see Chicago teams. Top level, Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Extended highlights, breaking news, in-depth interviews, and news from Chicago sports fans like you.
Sports Night. Elevate your Chicago sports coverage. Every night on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Every game in HD, coming soon to Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Well, it's a big one today. The Clydesdales are in town. I'm not sure, Ron, if you rode in on that wagon or not.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I would have loved to have been on that wagon with those Clydesdales. they're gorgeous horses, and they're very, for a big horse, you would really be a little bit worried about being around them being that big, but boy, they're beautiful.
Yeah, it was great to see them. And Carmen Pignatello, what a great story it would be if he could make the opening day roster. He has pitched tremendously, and there's an opportunity because unfortunately Scott Air has some tightness in his elbow. There's an opportunity here for a left-hander.
Yeah, very definitely. I feel very definitely that he's got a very good chance. He's earned a job here. I mean, his ERA is unbelievable, and hitters are hitting a .05.
Check out the weather. 82 degrees. It has heated up the last few days. Humidity not a factor. Not much wind. Suntacular for our forecast.
Very good. Yeah, that's good.
Nice work by our associate producer, Mark Brady. He's in a mid-season form. Suntacular. The Cubs come in 11-14-1. The Rangers 14-9-2. The berms starting to fill up. Not much green space in the outfield and very few empty seats in the grandstand area as the Cubs take the field behind the number 3 starter in the rotation, Ryan Dempster. And now the lineup he'll face, the Rangers right now leading all major league teams, hitting .304 in spring training. Ramon Vasquez will play second base. Casey Benjamin at short. David Murphy out in left. Josh Hamilton red hot, hitting .468. Marlon Byrd, you've heard his name. We'll talk about him a little later. He's in right. Ben Broussard at first. Jared Saltalamacchia behind the plate. Adam Fox at third base, and left-hander Kaysen Gabbard will do the pitching. And now for the Cubs defensively. Soriano, PA, Matt Merton against the left-hander will get the start in right. Ramirez, Cedeno, DeRosa needs to get a few more at-bats here in the final week. Derek Lee at first, Giovanni Soto catching, and Ron, as your great partner Pat Hughes would say, tell us about Ryan Dempster.
Yeah, Ryan Dempster, last year, of course, was the closer. And, last year I realized that he was not really comfortable in that situation. There was times he'd come out of that bullpen, and just the look he had on his face wasn't the type that a closer would have. And I think he's very happy to be back starting. He was a starter with the Marlins, and he worked very hard this winter, and boy, he has looked good this spring. He only had one really bad outing, and that's it. But he looks like the velocity is there. He's got 3 pitches. He throws the breaking ball. He's got the split finger, and I think he uses for the changeup. I'm not sure.
Ted Barrett will work the plate. Ed Montague and Ron Culpa will man the bases. And we're set as Ryan Dempster will face Ramon Vasquez leading it off for Texas. A couple of extra base hits. He has 2 doubles. 6th start for Dempster in the Cactus League as he deals strike 1. 2-1 with a .450 ERA through 5 starts. Came into camp in the best shape of his life.
Well, I noticed last year, Len, he was losing weight towards the end of the season, and he wanted to do that. And then, of course, this winter, knowing he was coming out here as a starter, and he had to earn his way as a starter this year.
Lazy fly ball out into shallow center. Felix PA racing in, and he made the catch. Nicely done. He got a little bit of a late start, it appeared. The sun definitely an issue this early on. You see the flip downs, and they worked for Felix that time.
Yeah, when he hit that ball, Felix kind of hesitated a little bit. But, again, it's the sun here. I mean, I think all outfielders, Len, have a problem, infielders, with this high sky. And I know everybody asks me, why do you call it a high sky? Well, it just seems at this time of year, that sun seems to be all over the sky. Very difficult.
And the old school flip down shades. We see so many guys, and this is a pet peeve of Bob Brenly's, but who have the sunglasses on top of their hat. And Bob's point is, it doesn't do you much good if the glasses are on top of your hat. He loves the flip downs. They may not look as pretty, but they're definitely functional.
Yeah.
This is Casey Benjamin playing short, left-handed hitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, I mean, they really come in handy. Now they got different types of glasses that they can wear during the game. when they hit, it's amazing.
Yeah, that is a fairly new trend of guys deciding to wear glasses, not only on the diamond but at the plate as well. I know Aramis Ramirez has done it in the past, and I've asked a couple of guys about that, and their whole thing is they don't want their vision to change during the game. So if they're going to wear it at third base or left field, they figure I might as well wear it.
That's a good point. I tried. We had a shadow in Wrigley Field, and I tried to use some glasses to take that shadow away, make it a little brighter.
That's a bloop double for Benjamin, and the first base runner for Texas here in the first inning. You can just let it fly today, Ron, as opposed to radio, and you're so good about being efficient. And you and Pat work so well. Just keep going.
I know it. I'm used to that. Let Pat get in and finish it up.
But it is an honor to have you with us. We're going to chat with your former teammate, the Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins, a little bit later. Billy Williams will join us from down in the dugout. We'll have some fun. David Murphy's playing left. A lot of left-handed hitters, 4 in a row to face Dempster. As that's rolled into right. Benjamin's going to be sent home. Here comes a throw by Merton, and it's a little late, and the Rangers lead 1-0. Well, the two hits have not been hit very hard.
No, they haven't, and that ball just had eyes. It seemed like it wasn't hit that hard, and Merton came up with it and fired to the plate, but it just took a little bit longer to get that ball because it wasn't hit hard.
Kosuke Fukudome will be the everyday right fielder, and we've seen a very strong and accurate arm from him.
Yes. And I feel strongly if he's needed in center field, he could play there too. He's a great defensive ball player.
Strike one on Josh Hamilton, who's having maybe the best spring of any position player in the major leagues. He's hitting .468. He's slugging .809. And he had a stretch run earlier in the spring during which he reached base 13 straight times. That is deep to left. Soriano's backpedaling and makes a catch on the warning track. So Josh Hamilton not used to making outs.
Well, it's amazing when we saw him with Cincinnati, and you just knew that he was going to be a good one. After coming back, he had that, I guess, drug problem, and came back, and boy, I'll tell you, they gave him up, though, for another good ball player that was with the Rangers.
Yeah, a young pitcher named Edinson Volquez. We may see him at some point with Cincinnati. And Hamilton will be manning center field for the Rangers. Marlon Byrd at the plate. He's playing right. And there have been reports that the Cubs have been interested and may still be interested in Marlon Byrd. That's the one tweak to the roster that still may occur. Jim Hendry has made it pretty clear that he'd like to go out and maybe add another bat to the bench.
I think that's what we really need. We do need another bat, and I think there's a couple deals still intact, if I'm not mistaken. I'm hoping anyway. And Marlon Byrd has been mentioned. Not having a great spring, but
early strikes out there against Dempster. The Rangers do get a run, a double followed by an RBI single, and the Cubs are coming up.
Maintain your home and vehicle with quality products from Menards. Ultra Pure Water Softener Salt Cubes with Resin Clean keeps softeners operating at peak performance, controls mineral buildup, and eliminates tank brine cleanout. 2 40-pound bags of salt cubes are just $7. Keep your vehicle looking its best with Black Magic Car Care products. Black Magic 2-in-1 leather cleaner or Black Magic liquid wax are only $4.99 each. Quality products for low prices. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
When I was a kid, I used to hit rocks over this creek in my backyard. I guess you could say I'm still hitting rocks. But now, it's out of other people's yards.
There are many roads to the show. What will yours be? MLB 08 The Show. Nothing gets you closer. Rated E for everyone. Only on PlayStation.
So let me get this straight. I have a comfortable house in the suburbs, comfortable job with a supposed to squeeze myself into an uncomfortable little car on my way back and forth to my comfortable life? I think not.
Visit your Chicagoland area Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Cubs trail Texas 1-0. Now quickly the Cubs line up. They're 3 under 500 currently. Cedeno, Soriano lead at the top. Ramirez, Merton, and DeRosa in the middle. Soto, PA, and Dempster at the bottom. And left-hander Kaysen Gabbard, 25 years old, 6'3", 200 pounds, is ready to work. Will set the Ranger defense here momentarily. It's been a rough spring for Gabbard. And he deals ball one a little bit low. 10 2/3 innings on the spring for Gabbard. He's given up 22 hits, 8 walks. He's hit a batter and has allowed 3 home runs, but he's trying to lock down the 4th spot in their rotation. The 1-1 pitch to Cedeno, cranked in the air to left, but this one's not going to fly, as it'll be caught out there by David Murphy. The rest of their defense, Hamilton at center, Bird in right. Brought over from minor league camp, Adam Fox at third base, Casey Benjamin at short, Vasquez, Broussard, and Salt Telemakia. We barely fit his name at the bottom of the screen there. He's catching Gabbard.
I wanted to say something about Cedeno. He's really come on this, you call maybe the second half of spring training. He's been swinging the bat pretty well. And, of course, we don't have that bench locked up yet. And there's a couple guys fighting for that final man on the bench. And Lou has not come up and said anything about who he'll bring camp with.
That's rolled foul past Mike Quaddy. Bad news, Ron, for Alex Centrone. The timing on the hamstring injury recently couldn't have been worse. He was in that mix with Ronnie and with Mike Fontenot, but he's not 100%. And if you're not 100% with a week to go, there's a good chance you're not going to break camp on the opening day roster. 2-1 pitch is a little bit outside on Soriano. See if Alfonso can get something he can really hammer here on a 3-1. He did not, and he takes the walk. Well, let's kind of get an idea of what the roster may look like in the depth chart. You see the question marks as far as a backup center fielder. Sam Fold likely going to start the year at AAA and will be ready if needed. But we know who the starting players will be. And Mike Fontenot, him this spring, is that he's done a good job at shortstop, and that's the whole key. He at one point was strictly a second baseman, and that was not going to cut it being a utility guy.
That's exactly right. And Fontenot, I've liked his bat ever since he's come up from AAA. I mean, this kid hangs in there against left-handers real well, hits the ball to all fields. He's had a very good spring, and I think he's got a really good chance to make this ball club.
And a base hit for Derek Lee, who came in at $173. How worried are you, or have you been, about Derek? I'm not, and I know it's Lou Pinella's job to worry about guys who haven't really gotten it together, but Derek seems to understand. He's been around for a long time, that all that matters is how he feels 1 week from today.
Well, you know, Lem, today, in my mind, like yesterday, he was hitting the ball to right field a lot, not really pulling the ball that much. But again, I've been to a lot of spring trainings. You never know when that bell rings, but I walked up to Derek, and I just said, "How you feeling?" And he said, "I'm feeling real good." And I said, "You're not concerned?" "No, not at all." And that's all I needed to hear. So it's you know, it's something that certain guys, I just feel like this spring everybody's been on their own program. I mean, it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of urgency to spring training because it's a pretty set lineup. And Derek's going to be fine.
Can you think of a particular spring that you had where you were just absolutely awful, and then you got off to a good start and probably never thought about it again?
You know what? I talk about spring training a lot, but I always felt I should hit over 300 in spring training because, you're out here for 6 weeks. The pitchers did not throw in the off season, and you got a pretty good chance they're going to throw more fastballs, and they don't really throw that breaking ball.
Gabbard threw that one away, and both runners will move up. That was about 5 feet to the left of Ramon Vasquez, so a throwing error on the pitcher, and now all of a sudden a good RBI opportunity for Ramirez.
Yeah, to turn all the way around like that is very difficult to make a good throw for a left-hander. But anyway, get back to spring training. I just felt I'd like to go into that season feeling really good. But there have been a lot of players not having good springs start off the season great. And a talent like Derek Lee, you shouldn't worry about. I know a lot of talk has been around about the wrist thing. You know what I mean? They're all wondering, but he really feels good.
Big swing and a miss by Aramis, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. And if you look at Derek's numbers last year, he did hit for power, but he hit for gap power. He had 43 doubles. The home run numbers were down just 22, but he hit 317.
But he drove in a lot of big runs, and that's what he is. He's the number 3 hitter, and honestly, I feel like, when you think about the number 3 hitter, you think about the best hitter on the ball club. But 3, 4, and 5 to me are all the same. They're RBIs. And this guy right now, Ramirez, he's an RBI machine. I mean, it's amazing. There's numbers that he could put up that could be unbelievable.
Bounce to the left side. Nice play by Fox, the third baseman, and that'll be an RBI for Ramirez as Soriano crosses the plate. Tie ball game 1-1. 13 RBIs for Ramirez, and unless something happens this week, this will be your opening day lineup against Ben Sheets and the Milwaukee Brewers. Ryan Terrio will start it. Soriano moving down from 1 to 2. Lee, Ramirez, Kosuke Fukudome will start in the 5th spot. DeRosa, Soto, PA, and Zambrano. And the one note there is that I think Lou knows, and in fact he said this, that Fukudome is probably more of a prototypical number 2 hitter. But in this lineup, as Merton fouls one off at the plate, in this lineup he likes the protection that Fukudome can give Aramis.
That's exactly right, and I agree with him. He could either be a number 2 or number 5 or 6 guy as far as I'm concerned with his speed, and we've got more speed on this ball club. I like that lineup, and everybody's talking about, and you've heard it a lot, Len, that
Tapper and Merton hustling, and he's safe. So he beat it out, and the inning is still alive.
They talk about the fact that Soriano should be down in that 4th or 5th or 6th spot because of RBIs, but when you look at his last 5 years, and you know it as well as anybody, the numbers he puts up in the number 1 spot. But he doesn't mind hitting 2, because hitting 2 is just like hitting 1. You're going to get more fastballs with Lee behind you. So I like the lineup. I like Terrio in that number 1 spot.
Now Mark DeRosa, this will be his 30th at bat of the spring. Got off to a late start because of the irregular heartbeat.
Yeah.
And he had the flu recently, but he said he's feeling a lot better today. And I tried to stay about 20 feet away from him as I asked him how the flu was going, and he said he's feeling better. He looks great.
He really does. I felt last year that Mark DeRosa was the MVP. I really did, because he came up with so many big hits. He's great on the field. He's great in the clubhouse. He knows how to play this game. He can play. He's very versatile. He can play any position in the infield, and he can play outfield. Big asset to this ball club.
1st and 3rd, the Cubs have tied it. The pitch is low and inside. 2 balls and a strike on Mark DeRosa. And the other thing to consider about the lineup, and really any big decisions that have been made, and this is the one thing I love about Lou Piniella, is he always reserves the right to change his mind. He is always thinking about maximizing the lineup, the rotation, anything he can do, whether it's a big or a small move, to make this team better, he will consider it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just amazed. What he did last year, you think about it, what we started off with and what we ended up with. You know, you look at Marmol and Terrio and Fontenot and PA. I mean, there's so many that became a big part of this ball club that got us to divisional play. I mean, postseason play and win the division. And he's very good at that. It's like they brought 20 non-roster players. He wants to see what we have in the system, and he's very good at judging early.
Fouled back on the 3-2 with Merton running. The best way to put it, I think, is that he's not afraid. And it comes from having, 20 years experience as a manager, but you've been around a lot of managers, and I would put most managers in this category. A lot of times moves are made because that's just the book move and you're not questioned. He's not afraid to be questioned later if something doesn't work.
Is exactly right. You hit it right on the nose. It's just like...
Oh, man, that ball is crushed by DeRosa. A 3-run homer.
Wow.
That sounds sweet.
Man, he got it all. He knew the minute he hit it, and you could probably hear that sound. Oh, did he crush that? And that's great to see. That's going to be big for him. Starting to feel like himself. Big 3-run homer. You know, we started lately to start swinging those bats at the right time, Len, and it's really important. I got to take a look at this. Oh, just a fastball that was probably around belt high, a little in on the plate, and boy, he just turned on it and took it out to left field.
Against his former team, and that is his first home run of the spring. And you always like to hit at least one.
Yes.
Spring training to remind yourself that you can.
Oh, gosh, yes.
So it's Soto, and he swings and misses. 4-1 Cubs.
I love this kid. He came with us last year. He had a great AAA year, came up, and he was a big part of us getting in postseason. He's struggling at the plate this spring. And my feelings on that, Len, are when you're set like he is behind the plate, sometimes you put a little bit too much pressure on yourself.
Hopefully he'll relax here over the last week. That was a nice relaxing swing by D-Row. It's 4-1 after 1.
It's NCAA March Madness, when passion, performance, and style make the difference. When the best of the best put it all out on the floor for the biggest event of the season, the Buick Pontiac GMC March Madness sales event. Now, get 0% APR for 60 months on every 2008 Lucerne, G6, Sierra 1500, and Yukon. Make a fast break to your Buick Pontiac GMC dealer by March 31st.
The Reebok Hex Ride running shoe. Extreme comfort and cushioning, perfect for the off-season.
There is no off-season.
I'm with you, Matt. Running keeps me strong.
Got that, Tori. It builds my speed. Hey, like you need more speed, Chad.
It will to break my records.
Hey, guys. We all have our reasons.
For sure, Stace.
To be a better dancer.
Like me.
It's your move, Matt.
Matt, you might want to stick to passing. The Reebok Hex Ride. Available at Dick's Sporting Goods.
White Sox baseball in high definition
on Comcast Sportsnet.
Cubs baseball in HD
on Comcast Sportsnet.
101 matchups in crystal clear high definition.
Home and away.
80 big matchups
in crystal clear high definition. Home and away.
White Sox baseball in HD.
Cubs baseball in HD. Home and away.
Home and away. All season long
on Comcast Sportsnet. Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Fans' best friend. Fans' best friend.
Along with Cubs legend Ron Santo today, filling in for Bob Brenly, Len Casper, and our Comcast Sportsnet crew on a lovely day in the Valley. We're in the East Valley here in Mesa. Ho-Ho-Com Park. Ben Broussard will start the second. 4-1 Cubs.
I like the way the last couple of ball games scoring runs. I mean, we've been averaging like 3.9 runs a game, and now, you know, we came out of the box yesterday with 6 runs, and today again. So that's good chemistry for this ball club.
The Cubs still have not won more than 2 straight all month, but they've been better lately. Since the 16th, they've won 5, lost 2, and tied 1. So if you're going to play good baseball in spring training, you might as well have it be in the final couple of weeks.
Oh, absolutely. And that's so important. It's just like DeRosa, who missed a lot of spring training, and all of a sudden hits that home run, and he's going to be pumped. I tell you, I talked to you a lot about this, Len, but the mental aspect of this game is so big. And, you could have somebody lose confidence in you, but if you lose confidence in yourself, you got no chance.
That's an excellent point. As Dempster's run it full on Ben Broussard. Speaking of wearing sunglasses at the plate, Ben Broussard has the shades working. Jared Saltalamacchia is on deck. A slicing soft liner, and it's going to drop in front of Felix P.A. Now this is something your partner would love. You have Jared Saltalamacchia, one of the longest names in baseball history, coming up, and then a guy after him, Adam Fox, with one of the shortest. Now that's something Pat would love, right?
That's it. That's him.
I have to give our production truck the credit for that, Jim.
Yeah, that's exactly Pat. Oh, he's crazy. He's great.
Well, I really enjoy listening to you and Pat when we get an opportunity.
Well,
I had you guys on yesterday as I did my homework, and it was very enjoyable.
Well, I look forward to it. I really do. I look forward to working with him, and he's so good, well prepared, just like you are, and he helps me along. There's no doubt about it.
Crank foul. Corey Provis has made his way down to Mesa, and he told me that he was hired 1 year ago today.
Yes, and you talk about somebody that's come on real fast and strong. He does I think the 5th inning, I think it is, and he does a great job. He's going to be a good one.
Grew up a Cubs fan in Highland Park.
Yes.
And Corey will be starting year number 2, along with Pat and Ron and Matt Bolts, the outstanding producer and engineer. He'll be down here in a couple of days as well. The 1-2 pitch to Saltalamacchia, the switch hitter, outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, it's just so great. The fans, when you come out, when you're not here, they're upset. They want to know where you are, but they come up to the booth, they say hello, and everybody today saying how much they enjoy watching the games on television, turning the sound down, and listening to you and Pat. And I got to tell you, it's a big confidence booster for Bob and me to hear that.
Well, they probably say they turn the radio off when they talk to you and watch TV.
Called strike 3 as Dempster gets Saltalamacchia for the first out.
The fans are, Len, you've been here a short time, but you know Chicago Cub fans, and you know what it's like.
They're the best.
They are the best, and they never lose their allegiance to the Cubs, no matter where you go. You look at this spring, everywhere we go, there's Cub fans, even during the season. But this spring has been unbelievable. We're averaging 12,000 right here. And we're tops when we go on the road. It's wonderful to have fans like that.
Cubs leading the majors in home and road attendance in spring training.
Yeah.
269,522 fans have seen the Cubs play both here and on the road so far in the spring. Tops in the major leagues. The kick and the 0-2 pitch drifts a little bit inside on a sinking fastball. If you just joined us, Ryan Dempster, it was announced today, will pitch 3rd in the Cubs rotation. So he will face Milwaukee in the final game of the first series. Jason Marquis, with a solid spring, has won the 5th spot, and John Lieber will start in the bullpen. That took a wicked hop and gets past Ramirez. And Fox is on, so the Rangers have 2 aboard. That was a nasty big hop on what looked like an easy roller at first. So let's get into that rotation again. John Lieber, by the way, is scheduled to pitch in this ball game after Ryan Dempster. The bullpen is mostly set, but again with Scott Air in the elbow, at this point it doesn't look like he's going to be ready to go on opening day. So you have Carmen Pignatello and Sean Marshall, the two top candidates for that final lefty spot. Les Walren still in camp, but it's probably going to be Pignatello or Marshall.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be, probably. No doubt about it. And I love our bullpen this year. I mean, we are solid. Anytime, I remember Lou when he had Cincinnati, he had the nasty boys. You had three guys that could be closers. And, you know, the other two. Lou is not a guy that likes to go bullpen by committee. He likes to name that closer, as he did yesterday, naming Kerry Wood.
Popped up on the bunt. It's caught by Dempster. That would be an easy double play.
Beautiful.
So Gabbard pops out on the bunt attempt, and they double off Broussard at second base. Bottom second coming up. Cubs 4, Rangers 1.
Hey, Nick, check this out. This Business Select thing is great. I get to be one of the first to board, and I get extra rapid rewards credit, and a free drink.
Shh, keep it down.
What? No, I want to shout this from the rooftops. I got Business Select!
Hey, what? I know it's great, man, but if everybody knows about it, then everyone's going to do it.
Southwest Airlines' new Business Select. You're guaranteed to be one of the first to board. You get extra rapid rewards credit, a free drink, and it's fully refundable.
You're now free to be more productive.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Edison Station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University, located near the Edison and Rockwell intersection. The remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
Place your hand here. Can't feel the temperature-controlled air flowing from the lush leather? That's because there's only one place to experience the innovative details offered in the ES. Your Lexus dealer. Where you can lease the 2008 ES for $409 a month for 36 months with $3509 due at signing.
Well, Kaysen Gabbard not used to laying down many bunts in the American League, and he was asked to do it, popped it up, and the Cubs turned the double play.
You know, you see a lot of pitchers, a lot of players, when they bunt. I mean, they're taught to bunt the right way. And, you know, fans always are bothered by the fact that there's not enough sacrifices in a ball game. But if you square around and just hold that bat out in front of the plate, let that ball hit the bat. But they always jab at it, and that's what happens when you make that move towards the ball. It's going to go a little further.
So bottom two, the Cubs got 4 in the first. 3 on a home run by Mark DeRosa. And Felix P.A. with a bunt. Boy, I love to see that.
Oh, that is
Barehand
gorgeous.
play and save.
Well, now that right there, you know, that's what he should do a lot more of. But when you're hitting in that that 8th spot, it's very difficult. But sometimes you need to be on, and PA just laid a perfect bunt down. A drag bunt is what it's called, and with his speed, he beat it out. I've been impressed with PA this spring.
Right now is foul, just barely foul.
Now Dempster, right here, has to get it done. And all he's with PA speed, all he has to do is get the ball on the grass. That's it. And he'll advance the runner.
Yeah, that is very encouraging to see Felix, who has great speed.
Yeah.
He's only attempted 2 stolen bases. He's 1 out of 2. But he really needs to utilize his wheels, and he did it there beautifully.
Well, I like what Gerald Perry did this spring. He went down to the Dominican and worked with PA. They wanted to get PA spreads out quite a bit. He bends his knees, and he's got the bat banging over his left shoulder. And they want him more erect. That's a good bunt.
Well, he's surrounding the field. He's just trying to lay one down fair.
Yeah, but anyway, he started off more erect and hitting the ball much better, using his hands, a little shorter swing, but lately he's been back to spreading out a little more, but he's still swinging the bat much better than he did last year.
Even, Ron, a minor tweak in a batting stance or any sort of mechanics, maybe even something as Dempster bunched through strike three, even something that maybe a fan won't immediately recognize. Old habits are hard to break, right? So even if you have a few batting practice sessions, a few games where you're doing it right, as a hitting coach, you need to constantly remind guys, correct? Or how maybe a year or two.
You're right on. No, you're right on, because, as I said, he corrected it, but then he went back where he's comfortable. You hit it right on the nose.
There's a double play ball. It'll go 4-6-3, and that gets Gabbard out of the second inning. Leadoff bunt hit, but no runs. The Cubs lead 4-1 as we go to the third.
What does it take to be the 2008 Motor Trend Truck of the Year? Power, quality, and fuel economy. The Toyota Tundra, the 2008 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Now get 0% APR financing or $3,000 cash back. Find out more at ytundra.com.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Last season may have left you feeling blue. But who says feeling blue is a bad thing? This season the boys are back for revenge. Out to settle some unfinished business.
Ramirez, two-run shot. It's going to drop down. Cubs win.
Feel the blue with 80 games in HD. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Every night, there's just one place to be. The best damn sports show, period. Come on in and be our guest for Sports Television's nightly party. The world's greatest late-night sports show is just getting started. The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on Comcast Sportsnet.
Coming up tonight at 6:30 on Sports Night, presented by Dex. Cubs and Sox Cactus League highlights. The news on Noja and the Bulls and the Blackhawks beat. Join Mark Shanowski for Sports Night, presented by Dex, tonight at 6:30 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. So great to have with us one of our good friends, a Hall of Famer, Fergie Jenkins, with a big Fergie and Friends celebrity baseball game coming up this Friday here at Ho-Ho-Com. How you doing, Fergie?
I'm doing great.
Always great to have you with us, and you get to hang with an old teammate here, huh?
Definitely. Ronnie and I were teammates over 7 years.
Yeah.
And believe me, when he was playing third base, I knew that particular corner was covered.
You know, I have to tell you one story. When we ended up with making a trade for Fergie, Adolfo Phillips was the main guy we were after, a center fielder from Philadelphia, and a throw-in was Fergie.
Yeah, right.
And I come out of the dugout, and he was warming up. I mean, come out of the clubhouse, which was down the left field line, and Leo DeRosa was standing there with his arms folded watching Fergie. So I walked up to Leo, and I said, what are you watching? He says, I'm going to make him a starter. He was a bullpen guy. And then he came to you, and didn't he say you're going to start? And you said no.
Well, he asked me, and I said, you know, I feel more comfortable out of the bullpen because that's what the Phillies were tutoring me to do. And so I did it for like 60 games. And then he gave me some starts at the end of the 66 season. And then he gave me the ultimate speech, said, hey, you come to spring training in shape, you can win yourself a starting job like that, 67.
Yeah, and
I just
620 game win.
Yeah, right. I just started putting things together, and you guys played, I mean, great behind me. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
As a
that
pitcher,
is.
You just have to wait for good offense and defense to try to win ball games.
So Fergie and friends coming up this Friday. Some great names on the list. Ernie Banks, and we're really looking forward to the statue unveiling coming up next Monday at Wrigley Field. But you can go to FergieandFriends.com or call 480-964-4467 for more information. This is a charity event, and there is a base hit. Just got past Mark DeRosa. So a walk and then a single by Casey Benjamin, and the Rangers have 2 on with nobody out. Habitat for Humanity, St. Mary's Food Bank, local Rotary clubs, children's camps, Red Cross Relief Fund, local Mesa sports charities, and also JDRF. So it's just a great event, and should be a lot of fun.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of individuals that once I mentioned coming here to spring training and playing in this particular game, guys jumped at the opportunity to come down.
Ball 1 outside on David Murphy. Vida Blue, Bert Campaneris, Jody Davis, Bob Dernier, Al Downing, Raleigh Fingers. This is a great list.
There are some great guys. You know, Bob Welsh, Billy Williams, and I think if Ernie comes, he'll be a celebrity coach along with Meadowlark Lemon. So and Juan Marichal has said he's going to come too. So that's really an important lineup. I know I asked Ronnie, but Ronnie, he's got to go to Vegas to do
He has to go to Vegas.
Yeah, right. So
well, I'd be a coach. There's no way.
I want to be a coach too. I want to play. But go out there and put the uniform on. I might throw to a couple of hitters and see what happens. But it should be a lot of fun.
How long? How many innings?
We're going to play 7 innings.
Oh my!
We've got about at least 8 pitchers. So we've got an opportunity for these guys really to get a few at bats and to have some fun.
David Murphy's going to knock in a couple here with a double. Well, Fergie, give us your thoughts on Ryan Dempster. There's some connections, both of you guys with time in the Rangers and Cubs organizations, and Canadian born.
Yes. Ryan's from out west, and I was born in Ontario. I think the biggest thing that Ryan, I think, has to do is stay ahead of the hitter and keep the ball down. I mean, it's basic pitching training. I think that guys fall into a situation where any ball up, you're going to get it hit hard. And in the spring, the hitters now are catching up to the pitchers.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, you look at Ryan was a closer last year, and I don't think he was really comfortable in that role. And he was very happy to find out that he was going to start this year. And because he's had experience of starting, he probably has more confidence coming out of that bullpen, right?
Well, I think so, and possibly having the extra day's rest a lot of times can help. But I think knowing the situation and working on that particular part of it and throwing strikes. I mean, you can't get away. You know, Ronnie.
Yeah.
It's tough to play behind people that throw balls. You're not on the balls of your feet. You're not anticipating the play. And when you're further behind in the count, the hitter loves to hit the hitter's count.
Yes. I've always said that. I said
definitely.
You're more patient. You go deeper in the count, you got to get a better pitch to hit. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And yesterday, Maddox pitched, and Pat Hughes, we did the game on radio, and said to me, "Does anybody remind you of Maddox in your day?" I said, "Yeah, Ferguson Jenkins. No doubt about it. The way you threw nothing but strikes, and I've always said this about you. If you're going to get you got to get him early. You got to get Fergie early. He'll give up maybe 2-3 runs, but from that moment on, he shuts them down."
Yeah, and I think if you can make the hitter hit the ball on the ground, and that's what you try to do right from the beginning, is to set the precedence of throwing strikes, making the hitter do part of the work.
That's the first down of the inning as Hamilton grounds out. Again, if you're in the area, please come on out here in Mesa this Friday. Gates open at 4:30. Fergie and Friends, a celebrity baseball game. A lot of great celebrities. Some Hall of Famers are going to be here. An autograph session before the ball game. They'll have the 5th inning stretch because of a 7-inning ball game. It should be a lot of fun. FergieandFriends.com or call the number on your screen. Infield is going to come in against Marlon Byrd. Now, how does your mindset change in a spot like this on the mound? It's early, but you're trying to preserve a 1-run lead, and you have the infield in.
You got to make him hit a ground ball. By far, now he counts 1-1. You got to make him hit a ground ball, maybe sharp third or second base. You got to make that runner stay at third.
But are you nibbling a little bit? You're trying to get him to go after your pitch, aren't you?
That's it, and he did it. I mean, that's the fundamental pitcher that thinks about what he has to do. Ball on the ground, a long fly ball, he's going to score, sacrifice, and you're going to give up another run. So you got to say to yourself, now you work even harder because you got a left-hand hitter up, 2 out. This guy can't score. You got to get this guy out. I mean, that's the main objective right now, is to get this hitter out.
We had a lot of problems year before last, I would say, if you recall, when we had a man, us, offensively, had a man on third, and the hitter, to me, that pitcher's in trouble when that happens.
No question.
There's no question in my mind. And as a hitter, I knew that he would probably try to get me to go after a bad pitch, the first pitch, and you just have to be patient, and again, that's the other sign of going deeper in the count. You get anxious, you're going to hit a ground ball, or you're going to pop it up, or you're going to strike out.
Yeah, he fundamentally is teasing you with a pitch that you're not used to hitting,
right,
not used to seeing, and you get yourself out.
Yeah.
So we also got a book here, Wrigley season tickets. It's got all the stories on the Cubs, and you can purchase it through major bookstores and newsstands. IBAC is one of the publishers. It's 112 pages. It gets stats and features on what the Cubs have done and what they're going to do in 2008. Should be
Wrigley season ticket 2008. I've taken a look at it. Some great information in there. So check it out again. Published by Maple Street Press. Big swing and a miss by Ben Broussard, who's playing first base.
Pat read that. I don't know if he told you, Len. It took him 15 hours to get to Arizona from Chicago.
So he read that cover to cover?
Cover to cover. Yeah, that's him.
But the thing is about Pat is
probably without falling asleep too.
He already knew all the information that was in there. He knows it all.
Yeah.
But that's good. It's got all these stories on what the players have done over the last couple of seasons, and old stories.
Fergie, always a pleasure. So great to see you, and have a great event coming up on Friday for charity. Looking forward to it.
Me too. Thank you.
I see you, Fly.
All right. Hey, Dag. Thank you.
Here's to waking up Thursday and thinking it's Friday.
Brighten up your morning with 2 Egg McMuffin sandwiches, 2 Sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches, or 1 of each for just $3.
It's Wednesday, dude.
Experience a Cubs game at historic Wrigley Field. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS, visiting the Wrigley Field box office, or by logging on to Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
When it comes to planning for the future, trust Country Insurance and Financial Services to keep you moving in the right direction. With down-to-earth, straightforward advice, Country Insurance and Financial Services is always there to keep you on the right path. Country, real answers for real financial security. For your family, for you, for a lifetime.
This is our country.
It's NCAA March Madness, when passion, performance, and style make the difference. When the best of the best put it all out on the floor for the biggest event of the season. The Buick Pontiac GMC March Madness sales event. Now, get 0% APR for 60 months on every 2008 Lucerne, G6, Sierra 1500, and Yukon. Make a fast break to your Buick Pontiac GMC dealer by March 31st.
Tomorrow, Ben Gordon and the Bulls look to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot as they battle Joe Johnson and the Hawks in HD. Coverage starts at 7 with Dex Bulls pregame live. Bulls Hawks in HD tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Have your voice heard and help us pick the song that will be played as the 2008 Chicago Cubs take the field on opening day. This is going to be fun. Check out Cubs.com to vote in the first ever March to opening day tournament. The bracket-style voting competition is made up of 16 songs. The winning tune will be played at Wrigley Field on opening day. Vote daily to help get your pick to the next round. Now, for more information and to cast your vote, visit Cubs.com. Now, we were involved in picking a couple of the songs that are on the list. Bob Brenly and I picked This Will Be My Year. by the band Semisonic.
Is it a?
You would like that song. It's poppy. It's upbeat.
It's poppy. It's upbeat. That's great. Yeah.
Let's see where Alfonso got this one. Ooh. Left foot.
Yeah.
It was part of the rally video from last year. The Cubs won the division, and you and Pat picked a classic, Margaritaville, by Jimmy Buffett.
And he's a big Cub fan, and it's an upbeat. That's what we were looking at.
So we're going up against Thin Lizzy. The boys are back in town, which is another good choice. And Margaritaville, as Soriano takes a called third, is competing against Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Running Down a Dream. So a lot of great choices.
Yeah. Soul Man's a good song also.
Van Halen's Jump, which has been used for years, is on that list. So we'll have fun with it the rest of the week. We'll keep you posted on the voting totals, and go to Cubs.com to cast your vote. Derek with a single and a run in the 4-run first inning. It's 4-3. Well, Ryan Dempster, Ron, gave up 2 runs in the third, but it could have been a lot worse. He retired the last 3 faced in that inning.
Yeah, that was big, leaving that runner on third with 1 out, getting the ground ball. And that's what you want to see from a pitcher, is definitely that you want to see him get out of a situation like that. And that just gives you a little more momentum next time you go to that mound.
There's a final pitch to get out of the inning. Strikeout.
Oh, he really looks good. He's looked good in spring, and it's great. You know, that's what Lou was hoping for, Len, that he'd be the third starter.
Well, you have your plan when you start spring training. This is ideally what we would like to see happen. Because of injuries, because of performances, either good or bad, it doesn't always work out that way. But in the case of Ryan Dempster, he told them what he wanted to do. They said, we're going to give you an opportunity, and he passed every test.
Yeah. He really did. And he just, at the start of spring, he felt great.
Deep to center. Hamilton having trouble, but he makes the catch. Sun is nasty out there. Gabbard has settled down. He has sent down the last 6 he has faced. 4-3 Cubs.
Whoa.
Hey. Hey. We followed you from work.
Nick, can you share a productivity tip?
I use Southwest Airlines. Southwest has a ton of non-stops, even on long flights. I mean, just look at all these. Non-stop. And you can get a ton of stuff done the whole time. No connections, no interruptions.
Solid gold!
What? Did you say solid gold? Yeah. I gotta get to my gate.
Over 3,400 daily non-stops to the places you do business.
You're now free to be more productive.
Hey, baseball fans, how would you like to have the coolest house on the block? Come to Sweet Play for the largest selection of Brunswick pool tables, game tables, bars and bar stools, home theater seating, arcade games, air hockey, and outdoor living patio furniture to entertain friends and family. Bring home the fun at 4 convenient locations in Algonquin, Downers Grove, Deerfield, and Naperville. Visit sweetplay.com for store hours and directions.
Range Rover Sport. Visit your local Land Rover Center.
Wednesday, the Blackhawks are back on the road and ready to lead the Blue Jackets out in the cold. Followed by Crown Royal Blackhawks post-game live. Blackhawks Blue Jackets Wednesday at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
We get into the 4th inning with the Cubs leading Texas 4-3. Jared Saltalamacchia might not make their opening day roster. Gerald Laird will be their opening day catcher.
Oh, really?
But he's going to be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. I thought for sure he would make this ball club.
The Rangers coming off a 75-87 last place finish in the American League West. They won the West back in 1999, but they have been a second division club every year, finishing no higher than 3rd. Ron Washington is in his 2nd season. And prior to spring training, they hired Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan to be their new team president.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Dempster with back-to-back strikeouts. The third annual Race to Wrigley 5K on Sunday, April 13th starts at Clark and Addison, continues through the Wrigleyville neighborhood, and finishes with a run down the Wrigley Field concourse and under the famous marquee. Each participant receives a performance race t-shirt. The Race to Wrigley is sponsored by Fields Auto Group. The proceeds benefit Cubs charities. To register, visit Cubs.com. Dempster's 0-1 pitch. He is away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Adam Fox.
Doesn't Nolan Ryan have a freeway named after him?
Probably.
It's amazing.
Kind of rolls off the tongue. The Nolan Ryan Freeway.
Yeah.
That works for me. It's caught by Lee for the second out. He signed a 4-year contract. 7 no-hitters for Nolan Ryan. Where's Ron Santo Boulevard?
No, it's up in
Bannockburn. Is it called? Is the other name for it your driveway?
Yeah, right. That's a very good.
We need a Ron Santo Boulevard.
No, we don't.
Well, Ryan Dempster has a street named after him. Goes through Evanston.
I think I have a street named, and I'm sure I'm going to hear about this, but someplace. I think it's some town in towards Peoria, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Oh.
There, is that it right there, Ron, on your screen? Where the buses are parked? Ron Santo Way.
Yeah.
That's where, that was the scene of the crime last week when strength and conditioning coach Tim Buss's car was smashed to pieces.
Oh my gosh.
But it had a great ending as
yes, it did.
The Cubs pitchers and they all got together and bought him a brand new car. It was great to see. Gabbard caught looking on strikes, and the Cubs still lead by a run.
Tough one, huh?
Want to play hardball? Major League Baseball 2K8. Rated everyone. I said 2K. K.
Improve your home this spring at Menards. Side your home with Cedar Creek Dutch Lap vinyl siding and never paint again. Cedar Creek is durable and affordable. There's no better time to side your home. Dutch Lap double 4 inches available in 4 colors, only $3.69 each. Keep kids entertained and active with a Playstar Play Action Kit. They come in dozens of different styles. Get a free Bronco rider when you buy the All-Star Silver model, just $599, or the All-Star Gold is $939.
Save big money at Menards. Come on, baby, tell me what's the word.
Now is the time. Here is the place. And this is the word. Every Chevy car, pickup, and SUV is backed by the 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And now get $1,000 purchase bonus cash on select Chevy vehicles. Well-qualified buyers can combine it to get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months plus $1,000 purchase bonus cash on an 08 Chevy Equinox.
Log on now to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today.
Tough one, huh?
Want to play hardball? Major League Baseball 2K8. Rated everyone. I said 2K. K.
Experience Cubs baseball from the private comfort of the batter's eye in center field. Offering a spectacular view and catered service for groups of 75 to 100. The batter's eye is a great option for entertaining in Chicago's unpredictable spring weather. The batter's eye is also available for non-game day functions. To book your date or for more information, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-Cubs. We'll be back home next week. Quaddy's crew. Mike Quaddy with his fan club.
Oh, that's great.
He'll never hear the end of that in the dugout.
No. He's got a smile on his face. That's great.
It'll be Merton DeRosa and then Giovanni Soto against Kaysen Gabbard, who came over from Boston in the Eric Gagne deal last year. wind and a one-strike offering is too low. 1-1 on Merton, who at this point will be backup outfielder, can play the corner spots.
Yeah, well, you know, he's going to be a big bat coming off that bench. I mean, you talk about somebody when you need a clutch hit. He's been there, and he's a very hard worker, and can take the ball to all fields. And once in a while, he'll come up with a big home run.
Again, the backup center field situation still unsettled.
Yes.
The one that really intrigued me that I saw on the transaction wire is Reed Johnson was released by the Blue Jays, and there are reports the Cubs have an interest in him. Jeff Devannon, who's a switch hitter, also might be available. Ground ball at the second baseman Vasquez, and Merton is out. And as we look around the National League Central, there have been a lot of changes. The Cubs, of course, no longer the employer of Mark Pryor, who's now with San Diego. Jock Jones with Detroit. Josh Hamilton traded from Cincinnati to Texas. I'll tell you, Ron, no Craig Biggio in Houston. Jeff Jenkins is gone in Milwaukee. Edmonds, Roland, Eckstein, Walt Jocketty, their longtime GM, they're all gone. We are in an era where everything changes fast.
Boy, I was just so surprised Jocketty left. I mean, or they got rid of Jocketty. I don't know which is which, but I couldn't believe that. What he has done for that organization is unbelievable. One of the best.
He's now in the Reds front office. He's a special advisor to the president and CEO. He spent 13 years in Cincinnati as Fox nabs that hard hit ball. Mark DeRosa's hit the ball very hard both times up.
Well, like I said, that home run has really pumped up his adrenaline, and I like to see that.
There's Dave Littlefield, the former general manager of the Pirates, and he is now a pro scout with the Cubs, and he has the best seat in the house right behind home plate. Good to have Dave as a part of the Cubs organization. John Russell is the new manager of the Pirates. Neil Huntington is their general manager, and the Cubs will play a couple of home openers, not only the one at Wrigley Field, that would crank foul, but then a week from Monday in Pittsburgh, the Cubs will help the Pirates open up PNC Park for 2008.
Yeah,
going to be a cold month of April.
It really is, and especially the way this winter's been. As long as it's dry, it's going to be cold. We know that.
Amen. Just stay dry.
Yeah, just stay dry is really the key, and you don't want to be hampered with a lot of double hitters. Oh, and today, you know, that when I played, of course, there were scheduled double hitters. You didn't mind, but you had Mondays off.
Soto takes a call third. It's still 4-3. Hall of Famer Billy Williams when we come back.
It's NCAA March Madness, when passion, performance, and style make the difference. When the best of the best put it all out on the floor for the biggest event of the season. The Buick Pontiac GMC March Madness sales event. Now, get 0% APR for 60 months on every 2008 Lucerne, G6, Sierra 1500, and Yukon. Make a fast break to your Buick Pontiac GMC dealer by March 31st.
Last season may have left you feeling blue. But who says feeling blue is a bad thing? This season the boys are back for revenge. Out to settle some unfinished business.
Ramirez to Russia. It's going to drop down. Cubs win.
Feel the blue with 80 games in HD. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Show us you embody Chicago sports, and you could win a luxury 3-night trip to Rio Vallarta and Riviera Nayarit, Mexico. Presenting the fans' best friend getaway. Brought to you by Apple Vacations, America's favorite vacation company. All you have to do is send a picture to Apple Vacations at ComcastSportsNet.com, depicting why you are Comcast Sportsnet's best friend. It's that easy. Send a picture and you could win. Don't miss out. Enter the fans' best friend getaway. Only from Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Every game in HD, coming soon to Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Ron and Len in the broadcast booth today with the Cubs leading Texas 4-3, and Billy Williams, Cubs senior advisor and Hall of Famers in the dugout. Hi, Billy.
Hi, Len. How you doing? Ronnie, how are you?
Very good, Billy.
Good.
Well, we're ready to go. Got a week to go.
Well, the bell ringing. I think everybody's probably ready now. I think the guys came down the first of the spring training, and they were ready to go because it was a bad taste left in their mouth last year. And when I got down here February the 10th or 12th, that was about 6 or 7 regular players. They were getting ready down here. They wanted to start the season. Let's go again and go a little deeper in the playoff.
Billy, what do you think about our ball club? Our strength? It seems like we were very solid. What do you like about it?
I think you know, we got a pretty solid ball club, as you mentioned. You know, we got Soto behind the plate. I think he's struggling, having a little tough time out here in Arizona, but I think he can swing the bat well during the season. And of course, we got Gold over in first base, and Ramirez and Sariano. I think they're all ready to go. We're gonna have a good hitting ball club. We need a little bit more speed, I think, but Pye is playing center field. I think he, you know, run a little bit, steal a little bases, and do like he did just a few minutes ago. Bunt the ball, get on base, where Ramirez and Lee and the big guys could swing the bat real good.
What about, you know, I know that you're down here, you put the uniform on during spring, and you've seen a lot of the young kids. Is there anybody that stands out with you?
Well, I think one of the guys we talk about is Patterson. You know, he had a good year last year in AAA, and he's doing a great job down here. And I really see him in the future leading off, you know, as a hitter that could get on base and score some runs. You know, he's stealing 30 and 40 bases down in the minor league. So any club needs speed. And if he could, you know, play second base, pick up the ball, or play the outfield, you know, he's a guy you have to really think about, because anytime you go back to Chicago with that wind blowing in, and I always said, you know, you got to have 2 baseball teams there because the wind's blowing in and not too many balls going out the ballpark. So you got to hit and run, do some things, steal some bases, and just, you know, win some ball games.
Runner at second after the Benjamin sac bunt moves Vasquez into scoring position. Tying run is in scoring position. And Billy, we're looking forward to opening day. And Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, will have the statue unveiled, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
It really is. You know, a guy have played so many years with the Chicago Cubs and really an icon in Chicago. And it's a great thing. I know we long overdue to putting a statue out there with a player who devoted so many years for the Chicago Cubs, and I know he's great deserving of it. I'll be there to help and unveil the statue, and we're just going to have a good time. I think it's going to be a great time for Chicago, and the summer going to be a great time because we have a pretty good ball club here. The guys are ready to go, and I think the one thing we should do and have to do is start off, you know, and start off and win a few games the first of the year, so we could kind of get Soto behind the plate, relax, and get Pye out in center field, relax. So if we go that way.
Well, one thing Lou has talked about, Len, is the fact that we got to get off to a much better start than we did last year. 22 and 31 in June 2nd, and then all of a sudden we started to play pretty good baseball. But it is so important to get off to a good start.
It really is, and I think last year, yeah, with Lou Piniella coming over to the ball club, didn't know any of the personnel here, and I think the players had to get to know Lou, and I think this was a feeling process the first month of the season. And after we got started, after we began to learn about each other, I think we started playing real good baseball.
2-1 pitch, a little bit below the knees. This might be it for Dempster. John Lieber has started to throw, so this will probably be the final inning for Dempster. And then we'll see John Lieber. It was announced before the ball game that he will begin the year pitching out of the Cubs bullpen. Murphy with a couple of hits and 3 RBIs, and he looks at a 3-1 and takes ball 4. Now, Billy, there's a book coming out, right?
Yeah, I do have a book coming out when we get back to Chicago. Hopefully it's out about that time. It's called Billy, and of course the sweet swinging years with the Chicago Cubs. And it's exciting about you know, the players that I played with, some of the experience I went through in the minor league, and it's just going to be a great reading book. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun. I did it this winter with Triumph Books. You know, we got together during the winter months along with Fred Mitchell, and so we put some good stuff in there. I hope everybody get it and read it and really have a good time with it.
I'm looking forward to it, Billy. And did you talk about the San Antonio days?
Oh, sure. I sure did.
Absolutely.
When we played down there with Grady Hatton.
Yeah.
And the experience I had down there with J.C. Hartman. And, you know, we had some great players down there.
We had some great players. And I was talking today about you and the toughness that you had to go through what you went through early.
Well, I was looking at the big picture, Ron. I know that I went through some tough times in the minor league, and things wasn't like I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But I endured it because I look at the big picture playing in the major league with you know, guys like yourself and Ernie Banks. We had a great time. I remember when you came down as a catcher. Grady Hatton was managing the ball club, and I remember you driving in the parking lot with your
58 Chevy Impala convertible.
Impala Chevrolet. At that time,
let it in the front and the back.
Guys were driving Impala Chevrolets at the time. Now they're driving Rolls Royces, Bentley. That's how far baseball has come.
Yes.
But it was a great time. We had a lot of fun with the Grady Hatton. You know, he was a major league player, and he taught us the right thing. Of course, we had Righteous Huntley as our hitting coach.
Yeah.
So we couldn't go wrong and have those two kind of players to help us along the way. So it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
Now, Ron.
Well, I'm anxious to read it.
Ron and Billy, I want to ask you both. When you first walk into Wrigley, you want to find out which way the wind's blowing. Ron, do you look at your flag first? Or Billy's? Do you go around the left field line or the right field line?
Billy could be at all. He hits the ball to all fields. I was pretty much left field.
Well, when you look at the flag in right field, it's a normal thing that the wind, a cross wind blowing in the left field. So when I was playing, I had one of those deals on top of the house. So I go through the hallway going to breakfast, and all I do is punch it and see which way the wind blowing. So I had coming from Glen Ellen, I had about 25 minutes to think about how I'm going to hit the baseball.
Hey, Billy, last question for you. Kosuke is not in the lineup today, but he will be on opening day and will play every day in right. Give us the scouting report on his swing, which you saw very early when he came to Cubs camp, and also his prowess in right.
I saw a good swing, Len, because he had good balance at the plate. I think one thing, the thing he's going through now is just like hitting in September. You don't know the pitchers, and the pitchers always have the advantage. The advantage he had, we playing 3 baseball teams that we're going to face during the course of the summer. And it's an adjustment period for him. I know he talked about a third-place hitter, and Lou has put him in the 2nd slot and put him in the 5th slot. But I think you're going to see a good ball player after about a month of the season. He got to go through that adjustment period. He's not going to lose anything in the outfield because he's a good defensive player. He thrown out a couple of guys, and you could see what he could do as running the base pad because he hit a couple of balls off the glove of the infielders, and he wind up on second base. So you want that. But it's just going to be a matter of getting adjusted to the pitching over here because there's something different facing different guys you haven't seen.
2 outs in the inning. Billy, always a pleasure. I think that ball actually may have come up and hit Lou Piniella. You're protected over there, though, right? I know you told me that you will go to the top step of the dugout, and that's as far as you'll go.
Oh, this is it right here.
Quarters.
I've seen too many balls fly over this way, so you don't grow old by being no fool.
Well, thanks for the time. We can't wait until opening day. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Real good, Len. You and Ronnie take care. Let's go ahead and win this ball game here.
And good luck with the book. I can't wait to read it.
Good luck, Billy.
Thank you.
That's Billy Williams. Now you are right at not a lot of foul territory here. And Alex Centrone took a foul ball recently off his face. Fortunately, he was okay. And you and I have talked about when you were hit by a pitch.
Yeah.
You were not so lucky.
No, in those days we had just the hat with the insert, and I unfortunately I felt it was my fault. And I tell the story that I had a hitting streak going, and first time up, I got a base hit. And the Mets used to play me to pull. Second base was wide open. And Jack Fisher was a hitter, and there's the base on balls right there. Jack was a hitter. Now we got the bases loaded. And he he threw me a curveball the first pitch, and I tried to go to right. I moved my foot to show that I was going to right field. And I knew he was coming back inside. And all I could think about was Waveland Avenue, because I was waiting. Well, what happened is I committed myself too quickly. And the ball ran in and got me on the left cheekbone. And I went down. That's going to be it for the pitcher here.
So we'll follow up. Carlos Marmol's going to come in, probably just finish the inning, and then we'll make way for John Lieber. Bases loaded. The Rangers have tied, and a nice ovation for Ryan Dempster.
Cup holders, researchers say, is one of the top reasons women buy one car over another. Not horsepower, not available features like an 8-inch nap screen or black leather trim. Nope, cup holders. Maybe those researchers need a little quality time with a different kind of woman.
Visit your Chicagoland area Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Hi everybody, Harry Carey here to introduce Advanced TV from AT&T, the newest choice for your television in Chicago. Advanced TV's 100% all digital, DVR included. Nobody knows where DVR comes from. It kind of just shows up like meteorites or government cheese.
Now with DVR included and $50 cash back.
DVR spelled backwards is rude.
Brake lights, let's pull them over.
Oh, come on, the game's on.
Okay. Please pull your vehicle to the right. Come on, get outside, get outside.
Hands up.
Come on, three-pointer.
The Slingbox lets you watch your home TV through the internet on your laptop or mobile phone.
Post up, post up. What are you talking about?
Slingbox.
Well, one more spring tune-up coming up this weekend for Ryan Dempster, and then he's slated to pitch in Game 3 of the regular season versus Milwaukee, and he exited today with the bases loaded in a tie ball game. Carlos Marmol will try to escape, and he'll face Jared Saltalamacchia. Good numbers for Carlos, and he'll pitch in a setup role along with Bob Howery. Kerry Wood officially named the Cubs closer to begin the year.
This is a situation where the right guy's in the right place. Carlos Marmol, unbelievable, very tough to pick up. He throws very hard. He came out of nowhere. We always knew when he was with the minor leagues and came up with the Cubs, he had good. He had an outstanding fastball and a good breaking ball, but he just started to throw strikes, and that's what you need in this situation. And even against left-handers, he's got that backdoor breaking ball that's dynamite, and he loves these kind of situations.
Bases full. That's a first fastball. He went with 2 sliders to start the at-bat. 2 balls and a strike. Just to follow up on your hit-by-pitch story, you got back in the lineup when?
Jack Fisher, I got hit on Sunday and took my cheekbone down and it was separated. And I had to wait for the swelling to go down. I was in the hospital. I got operated on Tuesday, and I was back taking batting practice in Wrigley Field on Friday. And then they came back into town. They were in Atlanta, and then I opened up against Pittsburgh on a Monday. I think it was a 4th of July. I'm not sure. And went 3 for 4.
Pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Nice job by Marmol to get out of the inning. The Rangers, however, have tied it. It's 4-4.
People think life in California is one big vacation. It's really a lot of work.
We have board meetings.
Lots of board meetings.
We're always playing catch up. We're really just a bunch of pencil pushers.
We burn the midnight oil.
Hey, it's a dirty job.
Someone's got to do it.
So if California seems like your kind of work,
when can you start?
Find yourself in California. Fly Southwest Airlines Internet specials from Chicago Midway to select cities in California for just $99.
You are now free to move about the country.
If you're thinking of a new SUV, think about Toyota. With 6 different SUV models, whatever your needs are, wherever you'll take it, Toyota has something for you. Like the all-road capable Toyota RAV4, which handles country roads, city roads, and pretty much any road you can find. Toyota, a great way to keep moving forward.
The Reebok Hex Ride running shoe. Extreme comfort and cushioning. Perfect for the off-season.
There is no off-season. I'm with you, Matt. Running keeps me strong.
Got that, Tori. It builds my speed. Like you need more speed, Chad.
It will to break my records.
Hey, guys. We all have our reasons.
What's yours, Stace?
To be a better dancer.
Like me.
It's your move, Matt.
Matt, you might want to stick to passing. The Reebok Hex Ride. Available at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Cub fans still looking to get tickets to the hottest Cubs games this year? Visit Cubs.com and click on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com. See a Cubs game from the best seats at Wrigley Field. Check out StubHub at Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Felix PA and then pinch hitter Casey McGee. And then Ronnie Cedeno, who's leading off today for the Cubs. The Rangers have 8 hits. The Cubs have 4. And all those hits came in the first 2 innings. Kason Gabbard, who's trying to win the 4th spot in Ron Washington's rotation, has done a nice job today after that first inning. But Felix PA tucks one inside the bag. He's taking a look at it as it rattles around in the right field corner. And he has a leadoff double. So PA with a bunt single and then rolled one past Broussard at first base for a leadoff 2-base hit. And that's the other thing, Ron, about Felix PA, that with his speed, you really like to see him hit the ball on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with his speed. And, you know, really what you prefer is a guy with his speed and his athletic ability to be hitting up in that top spot. But right now he's hitting that A spot, and still, you know, there's a lot of 8th place hitters that can start rallies, and he's really having a good spring. He's become a more contact type hitter. He has more of a short swing than the long swing. I just hope he stays there.
Speaking of big springs, Casey McGee has been tremendous. Just reached out, tapped that one over the pitcher, and he does move PA to third base with 1 out. So McGee bounces out but moves a runner up.
I would say he was looking to get that runner over at that time. No doubt about it. It's just the way he swung. And, you know, he took a ball that was down a little bit and away, and he got his bat on. But his mind, you could see it on the replay, his mind was to go the other way.
The numbers crunch will likely put Casey McGee in the minor leagues to begin the year, but he's made a nice impression, as has Michael Hoffpower. Check swing strike on Cedeno.
Yeah, you said it. A good impression with Lou, and we find out that he's a catcher, and he's going to go to AAA and do some catching. And you always can use catchers in the big leagues.
You were signed as a catcher.
Yes, I was signed, but I played third base.
That'll give the Cubs the lead again as Cedeno pokes it into center. PA with the Cubs' 5th run of the day. It's 5-4.
Well, I like what Cedeno did there. That would look like a breaking ball. That it looked like it was going to be a backdoor breaking ball. It was down, and he went the other way with it, up the middle. He was off balance, but he kept his hands back, and that's the key.
So the Cubs get that run right back, and Soriano bounces it foul. So after a while, you just decided not to put all the gear
No,
on.
I signed. Everybody was telling me to make the big leagues, sign as a catcher. So my last year in high school, I caught, and then I was signed right out of high school. I had all 16 major league teams after me, and I picked the Cubs.
Just foul.
And it had a lot to do with the fact that I used to watch the game of the week on Saturdays and Sundays, National League on Saturday, American League on Sunday, and there was something about Wrigley Field and Ernie Banks. And 2 years later, I had 1 year minor league balls in the big leagues playing next to Ernie Banks. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable.
I was in awe. And walking into Wrigley Field, I felt I was walking on air.
15 years, 2,243 games later, 342 home runs later, and Ron, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. Let's hope it's very, very soon. Next time around.
Yeah, well, it's next year. It's every 2 years, and that's what I worry about. You know, a lot can happen in 2 years.
2 strikes to count, as Gabbard's going to check on Cedeno. Well, I love what you said when number 10 was retired. You called that your Hall of Fame. It was one of the great lines.
Oh, gosh, I was, you know, I felt all along, you know, that the only way I get my flag retired would be make the Hall of Fame. And when I found out that they were going to retire my number, I just went crazy. And that was a big day in my life. It was so wonderful the way they did it. And that flag will always be hanging, and that's what makes me feel great.
And I'll tell you, for a number that's been retired, a lot of people wear it.
Yeah. We
see number 10 all over the ballpark, which I know makes you feel very, very good.
It really does. These fans, they've just been wonderful to me, and that's why, you know, you see me signing all the time. I just can't say no to these fans, and I wouldn't.
2-2 pitch. And a good deep at bat. There you go, and a great signature.
Yeah, that's nice.
Another Ron Santo jersey. And they're all over the ballpark. It's so great to have you with us today.
Well, it's been a lot of fun, Len.
Cedeno runs, and he's going to end up at third base. Well, the throw is a little bit high. Looked like Saltalamacchia may have had a shot at him, but that ball got passed all the way into center. And Cedeno's now at third base. The Cubs have been a lot more aggressive here the last couple of weeks.
They really have. They're running more and getting good jumps, and Saltalamacchia really had a problem because, you know, anytime you steal on a pitcher, that catcher has to get rid of that ball so quickly, and, you know, sometimes you got a good grip, sometimes you don't. Now they're bringing the infield in. So, Soriano, beautiful.
Just fouled by about a foot and a half.
I thought that was going fair. This is a situation that I always believe those runs at third base with 1 out or less, you get that run in, it's going to, somewhere down the line, it's going to mean something. And this should be a situation for a hitter that you love to be in.
It's golfed into center. She carried pretty well. Hamilton setting. And his throw will be way late. Cedeno scores. It's a sac fly for Alfonso. It's now 6-4. He has sneaky power. The ball just seems to carry. I know he uses a very heavy bat.
Well, when you say heavy, he's got a 35-inch bat, and he holds it down, and I think it's about 33 or 34 ounces, which normally is heavy. But he's so good with his hands. He's very quick with his hands. And he has what you call, you know, he lifts that foot, but he doesn't have a long stride. Sometimes he dips a little bit, but boy, he's got very quick hands and very strong.
He might be done. That's usually a sign when you see a guy grab 4 or 5 bats. And there's a couple of gloves. Derek Lee hustling down the line. Fox with a throw, and he gets him. And that ends the inning. But the Cubs get the lead back with a pair of tallies. It's now 6-4 Cubs.
Playing
Plan your next corporate or social function in one of Wrigley Field's private party accommodations. Wrigley Field offers a variety of private catered opportunities to host and impress your group. The Mezzanine Suites, presented by Nuveen Investments, has 4 convenient rental plans to fit all budgets and needs. For larger parties of 75 to 100, the Batter's Eye, located in the center field Bud Light bleachers, provides a unique view of the game. All private party accommodations provide generous food and beverage packages as well as VIP parking. Call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com.
Reach out and press here, and here, and here. Feel how better placement of controls leads to better focus on the road. If not, that's because there's only one place to experience the intuitive design of the RX. Your Lexus dealer. Where you can lease the 2008 RX all-wheel drive for $459 a month for 36 months with $35.59 due at signing.
Here's to waking up Thursday and thinking it's Friday.
Brighten up your morning with 2 Egg McMuffin sandwiches, 2 Sausage McMuffin with Egg sandwiches, or 1 of each for just $3.
It's Wednesday, dude.
Bank of America offers the opportunity to see Wrigley Field like you never have before. Take a 90-minute guided tour and check out the press box, locker room, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates and can be purchased by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS or by visiting Cubs.com.
Tomorrow, Ben Gordon and the Bulls look to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot as they battle Joe Johnson and the Hawks in HD. Coverage starts at 7 with Dex Bulls pregame live. Bulls Hawks in HD tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Well, they found you, Ron. It's great here. We're right behind the grandstand area, so people can come up and get a baseball signed or a program. Some changes now for the Cubs. John Lieber will do the pitching.
What a spring he has had. Of course, he had been a Cub and 20-game winner. I mean, it's like when you're an infielder, you love playing behind a John Lieber because he works so quickly. He throws strikes. Everybody's on their toes, just like Fergie talked about. Fergie always worked very quickly.
Short fly. Eric Patterson's playing right. He's able to cut it off and make the catch. Matt Merton has moved from right to left. Michael Hoffpower is now playing first. And Alex Centrone with his first Cactus League action since the 18th against Kansas City. That's when he got hurt. So he missed just under a week's time. And a strike on Gabbard. He's going to get 3 at-bats today.
Wow.
So Ron Washington stretching him out a little bit on the mound. Here's Centrone, who suffered a hamstring injury.
And that, that's always a nuisance because when you get one hamstring, it always seems like you're going along great, and all of a sudden you pull another one. I've always said one thing, Glenn, that players today, they come to spring training and they get very little body fat. Very little body fat. They work out 11 months out of the year. But that's why I think there's more injuries in baseball than there was in my day.
Well, I'll tell you, the broadcasters, for the most part, if you put us all together, we make up for it in the body fat department. Now, do you gain or lose weight during the season? Because everybody's different as far as what they do during and then in the offseason.
Yeah, I definitely lost weight during the season. I didn't lose a lot of weight, but I lost weight. But I usually came to spring training no more than 5 pounds overweight, and I would lose that here and then go into the season. And it just depends on the type of season, how warm it is, and things like that. But today, with these players, they do watch what they eat because they work so hard during the winter to be in great shape. With the big dollars in baseball, that's important to them.
Giovanni Soto lost about 13 to 15 pounds, and I did ask him today if he loses, gains, maintains. He said, I stay about right where I am when I start the season, but not everybody's like that. A lot of guys, they have to really watch losing too much weight.
Yeah, like Zambrano, I think, has a tendency to put some weight on during the season. He came to spring training in dynamite shape, and it's that's what they want to do. They don't need 6 weeks like we did.
Well, John Lieber goes 1, 2, 3 in the 6th, and the Cubs still lead the Rangers by 2.
It's NCAA March Madness, when passion, performance, and style make the difference. When the best of the best put it all out on the floor for the biggest event of the season. The Buick Pontiac GMC March Madness sales event. Now, get 0% APR for 60 months on every 2008 Lucerne, G6, Sierra 1500, and Yukon. Make a fast break to your Buick Pontiac GMC dealer by March 31st.
Monday on Chicago Tribune Live, opening day right around the corner. We'll bring you the latest from Arizona as the Cubs take on the Rangers. Plus, Jerry Azuma joins us to discuss Lance Briggs and the Bears' latest issues. That and more, Monday, 5:30.
White Sox baseball in high definition
on Comcast Sportsnet.
Cubs baseball in HD
on Comcast Sportsnet.
101 matchups in crystal clear high definition.
Home and away.
80 big matchups in crystal clear high definition. Home and away.
White Sox baseball in HD.
Cubs baseball in HD. Home and away.
Home and away. All season long.
On Comcast Sportsnet.
Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Fans' best friend. Fans' best friend.
Where do you get your Chicago sports news?
Level 1, local nightly news. You only get a few minutes. Level 2, national sports network. You might not see Chicago teams. Top level, Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Extended highlights, breaking news, in-depth interviews, and news from Chicago sports fans like you.
Sports Night. Elevate your Chicago sports coverage. Every night on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Every game in HD. Coming soon to Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Vineline offers exclusive player features, team analysis, and minor league coverage. In print and now available online through the Cubs Club on Cubs.com. Visit the Cubs official website to order Vineline today. Case and Gabbard working into the 6th. He has allowed 6 runs on 6 hits.
He has really settled down, though, since the start of the game.
I gave up a 3-run homer to Mark DeRosa in the first inning, and then, as you said, didn't give up anything the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. He allowed 2 in the 5th.
Ramirez, he is really number one when we got him in a trade from Pittsburgh. You know, fielding was a problem for him, but boy, since he's been a Cub, he's been outstanding in the field and an RBI machine, and he averaging 30 home runs a year. I mean, he is really a talent.
And the interesting statistical note on Aramis, as he draws the leadoff walk, he doesn't strike out like you would think a power hitter would.
That's exactly right. Yeah. You know, usually I think he's only struck out 100 times once. And usually power hitters, even though they hit 300, you're going to strike out over 100 times.
And when he did strike out 100 times, it was exactly 100. That was back in 2001. Last year, 66 strikeouts. The year before, in 594 at-bats, he struck out 63 times and walked 50. That's a pretty good ratio for a power hitter, a guy who 2 years ago hit 38 home runs.
Well, I noticed one thing about Ramirez, and I thought he'd have more than 50 walks, but he's a guy that, when we were talking with Fergie about going deeper in the count and getting a good pitch to hit, and he's that type of guy. That's why he drives in a lot of runs.
Mike Fontenot is now pinch running for Ramirez, who's done for the day. I know the Rangers have made one switch. Josh Hamilton is out. Engel Beltre is now playing center. Runner moves and a hit and run, and it's hit foul as Merton broke his bat. Well, tomorrow another spring training matchup for Lou Piniella and the Cubs as they square off with Aaron Rowand and the Giants in Scottsdale. Don't miss Cubs and the Giants. Dan Plesac will join me tomorrow at 3 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Going to struggle for the Giants in the Cactus League, and they didn't make a ton of moves in the offseason. They really struggled scoring runs, and of course Barry Bonds is no longer a Giant. They did sign Aaron Rowand, but that was really the only significant move they made to bolster their offense.
They do have a good starting rotation, a very good starting rotation, but I don't know about that bullpen either.
Brian Wilson will be their closer. Noah Lowry will start the year on the DL. Barry Zito has reworked his windup just a little bit.
Well, that was, I think, a tough transition. Barry Zito in the American League and comes to the National League, being a left-hander. It's difficult, but you could see how good he really is. But if you don't score a lot of runs, I mean, it's tough.
Throw to first. And Fontenot's back.
Fontenot's got good speed. He has stolen some bases, and he will run.
Gabbard coming home. A chopper to third. They will go around the horn to turn the double play. Another thing to follow up on tomorrow is Rich Hill will face Jonathan Sanchez in a battle of lefties. Now, Rich is in. He's going to start fourth for the Cubs. He knew going into spring training he was in. After struggling, and he has not been able to throw strikes, Lou Piniella said, relax, you're fine. So this is not a huge start in that regard. But mentally, going back to our theme of the day, right off the top, you talked about having confidence in yourself. Tomorrow actually is a pretty important outing for Rich, because after that, he's not going to face big league hitters until his first start in the regular season.
Exactly. I know Rich Hill. He's a great competitor, but sometimes he gets a little upset when he walks somebody or he gives up a home run, and that's just being a young pitcher in the big leagues. But I haven't seen that good curveball from him this spring. He's been wild with that fastball, trying to overthrow the ball. But the last time we did the game that he pitched, he started off shaky, but then he started to come around, and then I heard he had a little blister. And that could be a problem with the curveball, because that's his out pitch, that curveball. But I agree with you. I think tomorrow he knows he's a fourth starter, but he wants to convince himself, and tomorrow will be a day that he can do that.
His next throw day would be Sunday, and I'm not sure if it'll be a simulated game or if he'll face minor league hitters, but he will throw on Sunday, and then his first start will be the opener against Houston in the second series of the season. So the big thing on the pitching staff is who that lefty is going to be to possibly and probably at this point replace the injured Scott Air. DeRosa skies to left. That ends the sixth. We'll go to the seventh from Mesa. The Cubs lead by a pair.
Hey, Nick, check this out. This business select thing is great. I get to be one of the first to board, and I get extra rapid rewards credit and a free drink.
Shh, keep it down.
What? No, I want to shout this from the rooftops. I got business select.
Hey, what? I know it's great, man, but if everybody knows about it, then everyone's going to do it. Southwest Airlines new Business Select. You're guaranteed to be one of the first to board. You get extra rapid rewards credit, a free drink, and it's fully refundable.
You're now free to be more productive.
Improve your home this spring following a stop at Menards. Add the reliability of a Chamberlain garage door opener. This half-horsepower chain drive model is just $119. This half-horsepower whisper drive belt opener is extra quiet. Comes with keyless entry and laser parking aid, $178. Easy roll chain link fence makes installation a snap and features a 10-year no-rust warranty. A 42-inch by 50-foot roll is just $29.99 after rebate. Plus, other sizes are also on sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Now is
is the time. Here is the place. And this is the word. Every Chevy car, pickup, and SUV is backed by the 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And now get $1,000 purchase bonus cash on select Chevy vehicles. Well-qualified buyers can combine it to get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months plus the $1,000 purchase bonus cash on an 08 Chevy Cobalt. Log on now to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today.
Tomorrow, Ben Gordon and the Bulls look to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot as they battle Joe Johnson and the Hawks in HD. Coverage starts at 7 with Dex Bulls pregame live. Bulls Hawks in HD tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Top of the 7th here in Mesa. And a called strike on Casey Benjamin. I'll tell you, to talk about John Lieber at all, to go into his career, a lot of Cub fans are certainly very familiar with his career. You have to do it quickly because he's not going to wait around. I mean, in his ideal world, he would throw 27 pitches in a 9-inning complete game. I mean, that's the ideal for every pitcher, but he really tries to be as efficient as he possibly can be.
I talked to him today, and he knew that he was going to go to the bullpen, but he's very happy. He said, I love being back here, Ron. They have a lot of confidence in me. I have confidence in myself. And he said that I said to him, I said, geez, your velocity seems to be there like it used to. He said, well, you know, that's how I feel. What is my velocity? Well, he's got to be around 88, right? 88 range, maybe.
Yeah.
And I said I thought it was in that 88. But he's got that good sinker and good command and a nice, nasty slider.
Yeah, he is not a guy who needs to be at this point in his career as Larry Rothschild looks on. He doesn't need to be in the low 90s.
No.
It's all about movement and location. Now, I talked to Larry. The movement on his fastball is really the four-seamer. Most guys throw a two-seamer to get that good late movement, but I guess for John, it's a four-seam fastball.
A cut
but
fastball?
It acts like a two-seamer.
I see.
So I guess in the end, it doesn't really matter what you call it.
Yeah,
it's just really
well,
good.
that's the first time, really, I thought maybe four-seamers, you know, they cut the ball. Two-seamers, the ball moves all over the place. Another strikeout.
Well, if you've never been to Wrigley Field or been 1,000 times, a guided tour of the friendly confines has something for everyone. Each tour includes visits to places like the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and much more. Tours are sponsored by Bank of America and are available on select dates throughout the season. Tickets are $25. Proceeds benefit Cubs designated charities. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Engel Beltre is now playing center, and he lifts a fly ball out of the right center. This is no man's land, but PA with good speed gets over there and makes the catch. Nice running grab by Felix PA. Stretch time for Mesa. Cubs still lead by 2.
Once upon a time, long ago, there was a humble man who came to town bearing a most unusual gift. The gift of the magic rings. These rings were not shiny, nor made of precious metals. But they would, said the man, allow people to do amazing things.
There goes the flank in the rope.
On these magic rings, he told all who would listen, mortal men can fly. And though some laughed, many more believed. And those who believed did indeed fly, faster and farther than anyone thought possible. And people came from far and wide to watch and to wonder. As the years passed, the legend of the magic rings grew. And today, from every corner of the world, the people still come. They watch, they cheer, and they wonder, because now, just as always, the magic rings are available to all who would have them. Where will the magic rings take you?
Well, another sellout crowd here at Ho-Ho-Com Park. 12,757.
I wanted to ask you, when Pat and I were here Saturday, it was 12,890, I think. And is that the largest crowd, do you know?
If it's not, it's very close. I'm not sure the Cubs have hit 13,000. But I believe, Ron, over the last year or two, the Cubs did set a single-game attendance record here. But, 12-8, 12-9, that's about as
well,
high
I
as
mean, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. This is we hold 12-5. I think we're one of the largest. And we were yesterday in Peoria, and that holds 12,000. They had 12,035.
It's like the regular season.
Yeah, it is.
Here's Henry Blanco, his first at bat. He's now catching for Giovanni Soto. And while there's no second deck on this ballpark, I suppose there's a little value in having a young player who's trying to make your ball club pitch in front of a packed house like this.
Oh, absolutely. How about when I play? 5,000, 6,000. I mean, you put an upper deck and you can have this as a big league ballpark. No doubt. Wow.
Henry will be the backup catcher and mentor for Giovanni Soto. Had some neck problems last year, and it looked like his career might be over at one point. He decided not to have surgery. It looked like it was the right decision.
Yeah.
Big swing and a miss.
He had a 3-run homer this spring.
Henry gave a lot of credit to the Cubs athletic training staff led by Mark O'Neill and Ed Halber for getting him through last year without surgery.
I'll tell you that we have a great group. I mean, those two guys are dynamite.
There's Ed Halber.
Yeah.
And Mark is busy. I know that.
Yeah, Mark's always busy.
There's Mark O'Neill. Hey, congratulations, by the way, to Ed and his wife, Sarah. To left, and it'll get down. Blanco with a big turnaround first. It'll be a long single. Ed and his wife, Sarah, welcome their new daughter, Addison Elizabeth, into the world in the offseason.
That's great.
So congratulations to the Halberts.
Right. Yep. That's nice.
So their first boy has to be Clark, right? Clark and Addison.
That's it.
And today's bat boy, Ryan Kenny. Good to see Ryan, son of Cubs chairman Crane Kenny, doing a great job.
Yeah.
If the Cubs win, he'll probably be back tomorrow.
I saw him in dugout. I came pretty early. He was here early and very excited. He's 11 years old, and he was very excited. Nice, polite kid.
Solid day at the plate for Felix. A bunt single and then a double and a run. He lays down another bunt. We'll get Blanco to second.
Yeah, I mean, I got to believe that was a sacrifice. I don't think he was punting for a, I mean, didn't look like he was bunting for a base hit, but the way he runs, he just almost made it. Maybe he was laying it down the other way.
Joaquin Benoit is up in the Texas pen. C.J. Wilson is on the mound, left-hander. He'll be their closer. They've had some injury problems this spring in their pen. Wilson was bothered by biceps tendonitis. Came back on Saturday and pitched in a Cactus League game for the first time since February 29th. Arm strength was an issue for Benoit early in the spring, and Eddie Guardado had some left knee issues and then the flu.
Flew here in Arizona. Oh, it was on a rampage. It was unbelievable.
Ron, I saw J.J. Hardy has had flu-like symptoms. He's been out like a week in Milwaukee's camp and has lost 10 pounds. It's caught by Bird.
You know what? You got to worry about the valley fever. I mean, that's what happens here sometimes. I know that, if I'm not mistaken, Steve Stone had that and was out for quite a while. But there was a respiratory flu going around. I mean, just, coffee. course, I ended up with pneumonia, but didn't even know it.
But you're fine now, right?
I'm fine.
Good.
I mean,
you look great.
You know, feel good.
Another fly ball. Beltre calls off Bird in right center. And the inning is over. Getting late into the 8th. Cubs 6, Rangers 4.
Create the kitchen you deserve at Menards. All Kindred kitchen sinks are on sale. This Kindred stainless steel satin finished model is $49. This stainless steel deluxe mirror deck finish sink with high gloss bowls that make cleanup a breeze is $99. Complete that new look with a Delta kitchen faucet, all on sale. This high arc 2-handle model with chrome finish and matching sprayer is $84. This pull-out chrome model with matching soap dispenser is $129.
Save big money at Menards.
It's NCAA March Madness, when passion, performance, and style make the difference. When the best of the best put it all out on the floor for the biggest event of the season. The Buick Pontiac GMC March Madness sales event. Now, get 0% APR for 60 months on every 2008 Lucerne, G6, Sierra 1500, and Yukon. Make a fast break to your Buick Pontiac GMC dealer by March 31st.
Last season may have left you feeling blue. But who says feeling blue is a bad thing? This season the boys are back for revenge. Out to settle some unfinished business.
Ramirez, two-run shot. It's going to drop down. Cubs win.
Feel the blue with 80 games in HD. And Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Well, the third annual Race to Wrigley 5K on Sunday, April 13th starts at Clark and Addison, continues through the Wrigleyville neighborhood, and finishes with a run down the Wrigley Field concourse and under the famous marquee. Each participant receives a performance race t-shirt. The Race to Wrigley is sponsored by Fields Auto Group, and proceeds benefit Chicago Cubs charities. To register, visit Cubs.com. Nelson Cruz swings and misses at a slider from John Lieber. Failed to mention this the last inning. Mark DeRosa moved over to play third for Aramis Ramirez. And while a lot of starters will be taken out early here in the final week, Mark DeRosa may play a few full games just to get the reps.
He wants, actually, he'd like to see, Soriano's got quite a few, but he'd like DeRosa and also Soto, to start swinging the bat a little better. And DeRosa looked like he came out today, swinging the bat great.
And our Nissan drive of the game early on, and Mark DeRosa got all of it. A 3-run homer off the starter, Kaysen Gabbard.
That ball ended up on the back fence, and did you see how effortless it was? I mean, that's what it's all about. It's when you hit a home run, Len, it feels like, when you hit the ball, it just feels like you're hitting air. You just know it's gone when you hit it.
And I wish I could have experienced that. That's every fan's dream, to be honest with you, to hit a home run. It's something I never was able to do, and you did it well over 300 times.
Well, it's when you try to hit a home run is when you really get messed up. Because if you're thinking home run, that's the last thing that should be on your mind. You should think about just hitting line drives. I hit 11 home runs in the minor leagues my first year in AA ball. And I felt like I was more of a line drive hitter. I didn't realize I was a home run type hitter. And then I got the big leagues the next year and hit 9 from June on. And then the following year I went up to 23 and started going up from that time.
The 3-2 pitch to Cruz, and that is ball 4. First base runner allowed by John Lieber.
But I always talk about that because it's not it's a matter of how did you do it, because you went deeper in the count, you learned pitchers, you had an idea with men on base how they were going to pitch you without men on base. That's part of the game. I never really guessed on a pitch other than the time I got hit in the face. I thought he was coming inside, but I didn't think that ball was going to be that far inside, and that's why I never got away from it.
Kevin Minch is back with the Rangers, and he bounces to Fontenot. Centrone bobbled. They do get the out at second, but no double play.
That would have been a very tough double play because of the second hop. Had to go back on Fontenot, and then he gave a pretty good throw to Citron, but I don't know if they would have made a double play on that.
Now, when you played, they didn't flash on the scoreboard exactly how many feet the home run was.
No.
But
as long as it was over the fence.
Exactly. Was there a particular ball you hit either at Wrigley Field or somewhere else where you thought to yourself, I cannot hit this ball farther than I just did? Is Adam Melhuse bidding to tie it, and he does.
Oh, my gosh.
Melhuse with a 2-run homer, and it's now 6-6, speaking of home runs.
No, I never thought about it. That I could have hit any further. I mean, the home run swing is a home run swing. Sometimes you get more, and sometimes you get just enough. I've always thought about Ernie Banks with 512 home runs. Any ballpark, he just hit them far enough to go out. It never was one of those that go out of the ballpark or, but.
Well, they don't give you extra runs for hitting it 500 feet,
that's
right?
for sure.
If you hit it 343 and the fence is 342, it counts the same.
Yeah, but they give you a wow.
Right. And these days, you get on the highlight shows.
Yeah.
Off the end of the bat.
Oh, that's something. The only highlight show was WGN TV. You get home at night and watch the news and then watch the Cub game. And you always like to do that. But we didn't have the highlights they have today.
Jason Ellison will bat in the 9th spot. The weirdest thing as a broadcaster when you break camp, you go back and you have a huge game on opening day, and after about the 5th inning you look out and you expect every player on defense to be different. Then you realize, wait a minute, this is the regular season. There are only 5 guys on the bench. Hoffpower coming over, and Henry had it go just off his glove as he could not haul it in.
Well, I thought there might be a collision, but Hoffpower looked down as he was coming in. He looked and saw him. I thought, whoa, look out. That's the kind of pop-up that you're going to run into somebody. Ooh. Yeah. And it looked like there that he had that I don't know, I didn't see that if it tipped off his glove. I'm not sure.
I think it barely hit the leather. Didn't quite get into the pocket.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at. Yep, did.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The Rangers have tied it on Adam Melhuse's 2-run homer. Shallow right, caught by Fontenot to end the inning. It's a tie ball game to the bottom of the 8th.
Cup holders, researchers say, is one of the top reasons women buy one car over another. Not horsepower, not available features like an 8-inch nap screen or black leather trim. Nope, cup holders. Maybe those researchers need a little quality time with a different kind of woman.
Visit your Chicagoland area Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Show us you embody Chicago sports, and you could win a luxury 3-night trip to Rio Vallarta and Riviera Nayarit, Mexico. Presenting the fans' best friend getaway. Brought to you by Apple Vacations, America's favorite vacation company. All you have to do is send a picture to Apple Vacations at ComcastSportsNet.com, depicting why you are Comcast Sportsnet's best friend. It's that easy. Send a picture and you could win. Don't miss out. Enter the fans' best friend getaway. Only from Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Every night, there's just one place to be. The best damn sports show, period. Come on in and be our guest for Sports Television's nightly party. The world's greatest late-night sports show is just getting started. best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on Comcast Sportsnet.
Every game in HD, coming soon to Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
This year, when you can't be at home to watch the Cubs on TV, check out MLB.tv. You can watch every out-of-market contest of the season live online, even when you're traveling. And this year, live radio broadcasts are included with a subscription to MLB.tv. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Joaquin Benoit will make just his second appearance. As I mentioned earlier, had some arm strength issues, and he did not make his spring debut until this past Saturday. So he's trying to make that late surge and get ready for opening day. Kevin Millwood was expected to be their opening day starter. He made his debut on Thursday after battling a sore hamstring. So you get to this point in spring training, and what a lot of players try to do is they try to talk their manager into putting them on the opening day roster. But the other part of it is you can backdate DL time. So sometimes in order to make a decision, guys will play in minor league games here this final week, and if they're not ready to go, you can put them on the DL and have them ready about 5 or 6 days into the season.
Well, this is just a bad time, injuries, especially with the staff.
Michael Hoffpower having a huge spring, and will give the Cubs good insurance at the AAA level should there be an injury.
Yeah, he'll go to AAA probably and play some outfield.
And I know who's very happy about that. Pat Listash, the manager of the Cubs. I was talking with Pat a couple weeks ago, and he was really excited. He said, hey, the competition here is great because I know that I'm going to get some major league caliber players in Iowa.
Yes. He's done a nice job, too.
Do you know Dolly? I said, hello, Dolly. Is she in the park?
Dolly.
Hello, Dolly. Fouled back, and it's now 1-2 on Hoffpower. Well, some other notes. Miguel Cabrera reportedly set to sign an 8-year contract worth over $150 million.
Come on.
And it will be the 4th largest contract in history.
Oh, my gosh.
Popped up by Hoffpower on the left side. I believe that's still Benjamin in the ball game as he backs up as we continue to look around the National League Central. We showed you some people who are no longer in places where they had been for a while. How about the arrivals? Kosuke Fukudome, the most notable for the Cubs. Dusty Baker now with Cincinnati. They have a new closer, and Corey Patterson might be their opening day center fielder and leadoff hitter. A lot of changes in Houston. Jason Kendall, former Cub, now in Milwaukee. Mike Cameron will miss the first 25 games due to suspension. They have a new closer in Eric Gagne, and in St. Louis, new left side of the infield with Gloss at third, and another former Cub, Cesar Torres at short. That Houston ball club will be interesting. They should be able to score runs. The big question for them is after Roy Oswalt, they have some pitching questions. And Ron, I was looking at their bullpen the other day. They have a completely brand new bullpen. Brad Lidge is no longer there. Chad Qualls is gone. They have Jose Valverde. They've really made a lot of changes.
I know it. I know it. Valverde is a good pickup, but they made a lot of changes. Speaking of Corey Patterson, I was not surprised to see him sign with Cincinnati because I think he's very comfortable with Dusty Baker. Dusty had a lot of confidence in him, and that's what he needs. Corey's got a lot of talent, and what he needs, I think he's another one that has lost confidence in himself.
Looks like that'll be it for John Lieber. He went 3 innings and 2 runs. John will begin the season in the Cubs bullpen. He'll be the long man. But as Lou said, Cubs are probably going to need him as a starter at some point. It's very rare to see a team go through an entire season needing just 5 starters. I mean, that's the goal, but it's not realistic.
That's it.
Looks like he's going to walk up Ron Santo way and out of the ballpark. know Dave Dunn, who runs the ballpark here at Ho-Ho-Com. We can get that done. Get a sign up there tomorrow. Darrell Ward pulls it into right.
Is Darrell having a spring, or is he having a spring?
Ball got by Nelson Cruz, and Ward cruises into second base.
I mean, he has been on a hitting rage. I mean, line drive after line drive after line drive. And boy, did he come on big in the second half last year. Real big. That's getting the head of the bat out there and getting on the fat part of the bat, no doubt. Boy, I tell you, he is really swinging. You know, I talked to Darrell, Len, and, you know, I asked him, I said, how do you feel being a Cub? He said, I love it. He said, I absolutely love it. He just loves being in Chicago.
Sam Fuld will pinch run for Ward. So a chance here for the Cubs in the late innings. They've seen the Rangers come back a couple of times. It's now 6-6. And Mike Fontenot's at the plate against Joaquin Benoit. Outside corner on a heater, strike one. Well, what Darrell does is about as difficult as anything in the game, and that is to basically sit on the bench for 2.5 hours and try to come up with a big hit. And he is as patient as any pinch hitter you'll see.
Yes. And very disciplined at the plate.
Well, John Lieber just finished his outing, and he's going to go back out and throw a few more pitches in the bullpen.
Well, John said he's having a lot of fun. It's been fun, and that's the key. Playing this game. Have fun playing it.
Looks like Les Walren will pitch the ninth. Sean Marshall was originally slated to start Thursday's Ho-Ho-Com finale, but he has been scratched from that start and will work out of the bullpen over the next few days in an effort to possibly make the team.
Yeah.
Looks like they gave Darrell a single, and an error was charged to Nelson Cruz, allowing Ward to get to second. So the Rangers have made 3 errors today.
I always look at Fontenot. I really feel that he's a guy that has what you call the very short swing, makes contact, very good two-strike hitter. I mean, that's the way I look at him. And that's important, to be a good two-strike hitter.
Two-two pitch, fisted foul straight back.
And that's what you want to do, a good hard fastball up and in, foul it back, because if you hit that, you've made an out somewhere, popped it up. So foul off the tough ones and hit the good ones.
1 out in the inning. The kick and the pitch. He blew it right by him. Went upstairs a little bit on that heater.
He did.
So Benoit firing some gas, and he gets Fontenot for the second out.
Yeah, that's what he did. He came inside with a high inside fastball. The pitch before that, he fouled it off. He went right back, but a little higher, and Fontenot swung under.
So it's up to Matt Merton here in the 8th.
Well, this is the man you want with 2 outs, too. Contact hitter, hits the ball all fields. He's come up a lot of good 2-base hits. 2-out hits. And those are the ones that tell you the club is on their way to winning. You start getting those 2-out RBIs.
And all it'll take is a single here. Good speed at second in Sam Fuld, and he'll be going on any sort of contact with 2 outs. Well, I haven't done the math with the time difference, but I think, quote, tomorrow night the regular season will start as Boston and Oakland will play in Japan.
Yeah.
2-game series before they'll head back to the States.
Amazing.
Boston reserves Sean Casey out of the series because of a stiff neck after an 18-hour flight. Now we're hearing 4 a.m. Chicago time. So I have no idea what day or time, but it's coming up. I read Tuesday. So I assume that means Tuesday in Tokyo. I know you'll be up and doing all kinds of homework on the Oakland Athletics. The 1-2 to Merton is outside, 2-2.
I'd be up for the Cubs, that's for sure. But
I don't know if that gentleman missed his flight today or not, but he's checking out the Cubs and the Rangers here in Mesa. Another 2-2, and Merton strikes out, so Benoit gets out of it. Runner at second with one out, but he fanned Fontenot, and then Merton to the ninth, 6-6.
What does it take to be the 2008 Motor Trend Truck of the Year? Power, quality, and fuel economy. The Toyota Tundra, the 2008 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Now get 0% APR financing or $3,000 cash back. Find out more at ytundra.com.
When I was a kid, I used to hit rocks over this creek in my backyard. I guess you could say I'm still hitting rocks. But now, it's out of other people's yards.
There are many roads to the show. What'll yours be? MLB 08 The Show. Nothing gets you closer. Rated E for everyone. Only on PlayStation.
It's NCAA March Madness. When passion, performance, and style make the difference. When the best of the best put it all out on the floor for the biggest event of the season. The Buick Pontiac GMC March Madness sales event. Now, get 0% APR for 60 months on every 2008 Lucerne, G6, Sierra 1500, and Yukon. Make a fast break to your Buick Pontiac GMC dealer by March 31st.
The producer of today's Cubs spring training broadcast on Comcast Sportsnet is Pete Toma. Our director, Jim Angio. Mark Brady is our associate producer. The executive producer of Comcast Sportsnet is Jim Corno Jr. Thanks as well to our stage manager in the booth, Leah Williams, our technical director, Steve Feinberg, and our master control operator back in Chicago, Jason Howard. And thanks to Cubs legend Ron Santo.
Well,
got a win today here. What's going on?
Yeah, I thought we had a win here, but we've got another shot.
Tie game in the ninth. The Cubs had a good opportunity to get the lead back, but Joaquin Benoit got out of it. Les Walren making the conversion from starter to reliever. And he'll face the top of the Texas lineup, starting with Ramon Vasquez. Vasquez, it'll be Casey Benjamin, the shortstop, and then Jason Botts, who's now in left. The injury du jour is a broken finger. Curtis Granderson of the Detroit Tigers on the DL, so he won't be ready on opening day. Brandon Inge could be the Tigers center fielder. The Tigers have been looking for a position for Inge since they acquired Miguel Cabrera, who took over at third base.
Is Cabrera, is this his fourth year?
Well, he made his debut in 03. This will be his 6th year.
6 years, so yeah. That's why they signed him for.
He might be, and you know, certainly scouts and general managers know all about Miguel Cabrera, but as far as casual baseball fans, he might be the most underrated hitter in the game.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And he'll get a lot more pub in Detroit than he did in Florida as Hawk Power steps on first for out number 1. But his career arc early on looks a lot like Albert Pujols.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Scott Rowland with a broken finger,
and,
so he's in jeopardy.
You know, the other factor is what I worried about with Cabrera when he's with the Marlins is his weight, but he lost a lot of weight this past winter and did the right thing.
Just in time to sign possibly a $153 million deal. Wow. Well, the big story in St. Louis is Albert Pujols' elbow. It sounds like at some point he's going to need Tommy John surgery, but he's really played through that injury for several years. Benjamin flies to left, so 2 quick outs. And I'll be curious to see if teams will really make him throw the ball. You know, take that big turn around second base on a sac bunt to first and make Pujols throw the ball.
Right.
I mean, you never want to see a guy go down with a devastating injury, but to know that he has a torn ligament in his elbow, you know, you have to try to take advantage, as teams did on Jeff Bagwell with his shoulder.
Yeah. Boy, he was one of the best. Coming in on bunts, throwing guys out at third. Unbelievable, Bagwell. Lee's very good at it.
This is Jason Botts. 2 balls, no strikes. Twins closer Joe Nathan.
Yes.
They sign a 4-year extension. There's a lot of stuff going on around baseball as we get closer to opening day. Chris Capuano with Milwaukee. He has a torn ligament and might need Tommy John surgery for the 2nd time.
You know, I'm surprised he didn't. Last year he had problems. I mean, he had problems all year. They had a terrible year, and yet they almost won without him really being a big part of it. But I'm surprised that during the winter he didn't have something done or checked. You know, that does surprise me a lot. But you know, with today's contracts, you know, the agents might be thinking, hey, you know, let's wait here, and terrible.
Engel Beltre. Now as I look at that first name, it may actually be pronounced Engel. Didn't get a pronunciation on it, but we like to get it right. Runner at first with 2 outs. Pulled on the ground foul. Last year, Milwaukee went through this stretch from June 30th to August 29th. So essentially 2 full months where they received 0 wins from their top 3 starters, Sheets, Suppan, and Capuano.
Yeah.
So if you want to kind of pinpoint where everything turned for both the Cubs and the Brewers, it was that stretch. As Fontenot gobbles it up, and we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Well, as you said, Ron, earlier, you can't get 8.5 out this year. Cubs want to get off to a good start. Mark DeRosa looking for that good start. He'll try to win it as he leads off when we come back.
It's NCAA March Madness, when passion, performance, and style make the difference. When the best of the best put it all out on the floor for the biggest event of the season. The Buick Pontiac GMC March Madness sales event. Now, get 0% APR for 60 months on every 2008 Lucerne, G6, Sierra 1500, and Yukon. Make a fast break to your Buick Pontiac GMC dealer by March 31st.
The road to happiness. Something's brewing here.
Medioso, non-fat, $7.75.
$8?
Hello? There's a drought in the Moroccan rainforest?
Moroccan rainforest?
That's right.
Put your money in an orange savings account. Watching your money grow, that's a habit that leads to happiness. Thanks. No thanks. High interest, no fees, no minimums. That's the boost your savings need on the road to happiness.
Lost in a daydream of blue and I feel so free. And then it's like I fall from the sky. Everything that I see is you. Oh, I adore you.
The 2008 XC90 SUV. Meet yours at the Get Together with a Volvo Spring Sales event. Lease or purchase one today and receive a Garmin Nav unit. Ends March 31st.
Coming up tonight at 6:30 on Sports Night, presented by Dex. Cubs and Sox Cactus League highlights. The news on Noche and the Bulls and the Blackhawks beat. Join Mark Shanowski for Sports Night, presented by Dex. Tonight at 6:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. And look for Luke Stuckmeyer's Cubs report. A lot of news made today here in Mesa. Great crowd today, and they want to see the Cubs walk off with a win. 6-6 to the bottom of the ninth. And Robinson Tejeda will pitch for Texas. Let's see if Mark can get a hold of one like he did in the first inning. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times today. A 3-run homer. He lined to third and then flying to left in his last at bat. Tejeda works from the stretch with nobody on. And here we go. Fastball strike.
Well, he really is. Today he really swung the bat well, and it's got to really pump him up a little bit because what he went through this spring with the irregular heartbeat. And even though he's in great shape, it takes time. You know, that's what spring training is all about, is to get enough at-bats. I myself like to get anywhere from 45 to 50 at-bats during spring.
Mark might come up a little bit short in that department.
Yeah.
You do have minor league games to try to make up for it, but there's nothing quite like the adrenaline of a big league pitcher.
Yeah.
Have to battle here, down 1-2. Ooh, struck him out.
Wow.
95 on the gun.
Yeah.
Robinson Tejeda. Nothing fancy there. He just reared back and.
I mean, that he just got to buy him, and you could hear that glove pop. But that ball, fastballs like that.
I think it was caught. It was. Benjamin with a catch, and Henry lines out.
Now batting, center fielder.
Called the game.
So how on the bench right now? You got guys hanging out, just kind of watching the action.
Well,
they're ready. Are they ready for this one to end?
Oh, absolutely. You know, they're hoping there's somebody warming up in bullpen, so it's going to go an extra inning. But I think one inning will be the only way unless we score right here.
Fouled off by Felix, who has gone the distance.
Yeah, they're about ready to leave here. Usually this last week is very tiring.
Cubs will break camp on Thursday after playing Milwaukee. There's a gapper for Felix PA. He's going to end up at least at second base.
Yeah, he'll go for 3.
On his way to third, relay throw, and he is in easily and represents the tying run with 2 outs. A single, a double, and a triple today for PA.
Well, I tell you, he's really swinging that bat well, and you know, he wants that job in center field, and he's proven that he can, having a good spring, hit a fastball that was up a little bit, got right on top of it, and I just love the way he runs. He was in there easily.
I know Felix is going to hit some home runs at the big league level, but this is exactly the kind of performance that you want to see out of him. A bunt single, a double down to the right field corner, and then a gapper where he can really use his speed.
Right.
Cubs theoretically don't need him to hit home runs. They need him to get on base and to steal bases.
No, and he shouldn't be thinking about home runs.
So Eric Patterson with 2 gone and a runner at third, and he was way out front. And actually, Ron, they just need Felix to kind of hold his own offensively. I would say the most important thing for him is to be as good as he can be defensively. And the Cubs should have one of their better defensive outfields in recent memory.
You know, you're right on there again. As far as I'm concerned, when we got Fukudome and you got Soriano in left field, all you need in center is a guy that can go get the ball, hit you about 260, steal a few bases, you know, and that's what you need. You don't have to put the pressure on that center fielder.
One to Patterson up the middle. Base hit. Cubs win 7-6. Eric Patterson with the single up the middle, and they started the rally with 2 outs, a triple from PA, and Epat comes up with the game-winning hit. That's how you do it, partner.
Well, that's how you do it. You know, Billy was talking about Patterson.
Yeah, you're right. Very impressed with Eric Patterson.
Yeah.
Here was a final swing. And no problem for PA with 2 outs. Now the center, and the Cubs now 12 and 14 on the spring, and they have won 2 in a row. They'll go for their first 3-game winning streak tomorrow as Rich Hill will face Jonathan Sanchez. So the story today, obviously the roster announcements. Kerry Wood, the closer. We saw Mark DeRosa hit the ball well, but today really belonged to Felix PA.
It really did, and I think you know, we've been looking for somebody maybe to play center field because we're not too sure on Felix, but so far he's really earned that job. He's swinging the bat as well as I've ever seen him swing, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, Ron, what a pleasure. Had so much fun today. Can't wait. This is going to be a fun season. I can't wait to get it going for real.
Well, thanks a lot, Len. I really enjoyed it. You made it easy for me, pal.
Well, you're the best. So that's going to wrap up our coverage of Cubs baseball today here on Comcast Sportsnet. Join us again tomorrow as the Cubs take on the Giants, 3 o'clock Central Time. Dan Plesac will join me in the booth. Once again, our final score today, the Cubs 7, the Rangers 6. And now for my partner today, Cubs legend Ron Santo and our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew. This is Len Casper saying goodbye from Mesa. Stay tuned. David Kaplan with Chicago Tribune Live is next on Comcast Sportsnet.